Good evening. Welcome to Kinsmen Stadium in Oshawa for the fourth and final game of the second day of the OCAA 2021 Men's Baseball Championship as we get set for a battle of the undefeated teams here in the tournament. The Humber Hawks, two-time defending OCAA champions, will face off against the St. Clair Saints, who are five-time champions of this tournament but have not won it since 2017. Humber and St. Clair both undefeated coming into tonight's showdown between the undefeated teams. The winner of this game will get an automatic berth in the gold medal matchup. The loser of this game will play tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock against the Seneca Sting in an elimination game. The loser of that game will get the bronze medal. The winner of that game will get to face the winner of this game that is just about to start between Humber and St. Clair. Brian Oliver along with Jacob Ebbs here in a very chilly, cold October night here at Kinsmen Stadium as we get set. No rain in the forecast, but boy, the temperature has really dropped here in the last couple of hours as we get underway as St. Clair and Humber prepare to do battle. Jake, these two teams are no stranger to the medal podium in the OCAA ranks. They are the only two teams that have won championships, and right now it's looking like it's going to come down to them again this year.
Yeah, it really is. Good evening, Brian. Glad to be with you again. So, really, you got two undefeated teams and really the two juggernauts of the entire OCAA. You got both fantastic teams. You got Humber, who I think probably has the better offensive, but I think St. Clair has overall the better put-together team. This is a game you've probably been looking forward to all day. And once again, like you said, both these teams are definitely going to be on the podium again.
The St. Clair Saints will be in their white jerseys. They are in the first base dugout, and they're getting ready to take the field defensively. They are the home team because they finished ahead of the Humber Hawks in the regular season standings. St. Clair was 12-2. Humber was 11-3. In the tournament so far this weekend, the Humber Hawks advanced to this game earlier today with an 18-5 win over the Seneca Sting. And they've been resting up ever since winning that game. That game ended around 1:30 this afternoon as we are preparing to get underway here with this fourth and final game. The St. Clair Saints had a much tougher task in their game, their first game of the tournament. They had a date with the Durham Lords, and they came away with a 5-4 nail-biter win over the Lords to advance to this game. So St. Clair certainly was battle-tested in that game today against Durham. But you look back last night, the Humber Hawks, they were battle-tested too. They had to win an elimination game last night. So this is their third game of the tournament, maybe a little deeper into their pitching because of having had to play that extra game so far.
Yeah, you know what? They're expecting a lot out of the starting pitcher for the Humber Hawks. Shane O'Keefe, hard-throwing righty. They're expecting a lot out of him today. You got to expect that, in the coach's mind, they want him to go at least 5 or 6 innings because they already went into their bullpen. They already went in pretty deep. There's not really a whole lot left to go. You're going to have guys ready to go tomorrow, but that's tomorrow. That's still another night's sleep. That's still more rest and recovery down back at the hotel, wherever they're staying.
Shane O'Keefe will be the starting pitcher for the Humber Hawks, and he led the Hawks this year in a number of categories. He made 5 appearances, started 5 games, posted a record of 4 wins and 1 loss through 1 complete game and 21 innings pitched and a 3.67 earned run average. But for the St. Clair Saints, they will send Brock Whitson to the mound. He is a rookie, and he made 3 appearances during the regular season, started 2 games, finished with a record of 1-0, but only threw 11 1/3 innings and an earned run average of 5.56. So Whitson is the rookie pitcher here where but also Shane O'Keefe is a rookie pitcher as well. So a couple of first-year pitchers, hard-throwing pitchers that are going to try and propel their teams into the gold medal round tomorrow here in the 2021 OCAA Men's Baseball Championships. These two teams split the regular season matchups. The first game was won by St. Clair 10-4. And the second game was a shortened game that only went 6 innings. But it was an 8-5 win for the Humber Hawks in the second game. So they split the doubleheader, and St. Clair, though, ended the regular season at 12-2, Humber 11-3. So St. Clair will be the home team. They are in the white jerseys and have just taken the field defensively. The Humber Hawks will be wearing their dark blue jerseys with the yellow numbers as we get set to get underway here in just a moment's time, which should be a terrific, terrific game. We've seen some exciting baseball all weekend long. A couple of nail-biters recently. The Seneca Sting, congratulations to them. They were victors in the last game, a 2-0 win over the Durham Lords to secure their place in the medal round tomorrow. The Durham Lords will finish fourth in the playoffs this year and are done for the year. Temperature right now in Oshawa, it's saying it says 6 degrees with a wind chill of 4 degrees. I'm convinced that it's maybe a little colder than that right now. Of course, we are in a pretty low-lying area here in Oshawa, as we are just adjacent to the Oshawa Creek. So it's low. We don't have much elevation, and it's cold. It's not too windy, but it's very cold, and tough playing conditions for everybody. We saw some tough fielding plays in the last game where balls just not squeezing in the gloves. It's a little bit trickier. Everybody defensively has to be sharp.
Yeah, everything tightens up in cold conditions. Players and equipment, like players are not going to be really too keen about swinging on the inside pitch just so they don't get jammed and shivers going up and down.
Whitson's first pitch to Stephen Nawrabecki, the leadoff hitter for the Humber Hawks, is in there for a strike, and we are underway at 8:36. Brock Whitson is the right-handed pitcher for St. Clair. Tosses that one in hard and fast, but it's a ball, 1-1. We will set the defense for you here for the St. Clair Saints, rather. Brock Whitson is the pitcher. Henry Real is the catcher. We'll get to more of that in just a moment. Here's the 1-1 pitch, high and inside for ball 2. 2-1 to Stephen Nawrabecki. At first base, it's Colin Robinson. Carter Reyes at second. Josh Anderson at short. Enoch Watts is at third base. In the outfield, Patrick Kibble in left. Spencer Moran in center. And Hunter Appleyard in right. Here's the 2-1 pitch, fouled away by Nawrabecki, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. The DH in this game for St. Clair is Riley Briggs. Stephen Nawrabecki, the batter, 2 balls and 2 strikes. He is the OCAA's batting champion this year with a .478 average. And looking to get his team started here as the Humber Hawks are trying to defend their 2-time gold medal. That ball is lifted to left field. Patrick Kibble in left field is going to have to run a long way. Dives out and makes the catch. Had to go head first. Wow. And makes an outstanding grab in left field for the first out of the ball game, 1 away.
Yeah, he went full out diving in. Didn't really get a great read off of that right away. Had to rush in, go full out. Still made the catch.
So 1 away, and Dennis DeBanning will be the batter for the Humber Hawks. He is the OCAA Player of the Year. He is a 5th-year Humber Hawk. Been part of those championship teams in 2018 and 2019. Plays left field. Had an amazing season. He comes up here with 1 away and nobody on. First pitch is high, ball 1. DeBanning's offensive numbers this year were almost off the charts for the Humber Hawks. Count is 1-0 to DeBanning. Brock Whitson fires that one in there for a strike. It's 1-1. But en route to being named Player of the Year in the OCAA, DeBanning scored 23 runs, hit 5 home runs, 27 runs batted in, 9 stolen bases, and a .976 slugging percentage. Pitch is high, very high to DeBanning, and the count goes to 2-1. 2 powerhouse teams facing off against each other here tonight, and really they were the best teams in the regular season. St. Clair at 12-2, Humber at 11-3. Here's the 2-1. That's high, and the count goes to 3-1. Brock Whitson pitching here for the St. Clair Saints in the white jerseys. Managed to get a fly ball out to Stephen Narebecki to start the game. Now he's behind 3 balls and 1 strike to Debanning. Swing and a miss. Big cut. Strike 2. Full count.
Already a lot of pitches there for Whitson so far in this game. Looks like he's still trying to get control over the fastball. When he's missing high. We'll see if he's able to correct it later on.
Full count pitch to Debanning. It is lifted to right field. Hunter Appleyard is coming in for it on the run, and he's got it for the out. 2 away, 2 up and 2 down here for Humber in the top of the first. It'll be Justin Raspanti now, the third baseman for Humber. And Raspanti bats from the left side. Couple of fly ball outs here for Brock Whitson, and the St. Clair Saints have 2 away, nobody on base. And as we know, both of these teams are offensive powerhouses, and one of their secrets is getting runners on base. First pitch to Raspanti is low for a ball.
Yeah, these guys both teams have a plethora of offensive capabilities. They can hit home runs, they can hit doubles, they can hit singles. They can steal bags. They can work counts. They can do all the things.
1-0 pitch is a miss. Just misses. Count goes 2-0. 2 balls, no strikes to Justin Raspanti. Humber batting here, top of the first inning. We are just underway in the battle of the undefeated teams so far in the tournament here in the 2021 championships. Crushed to right center field. Right fielder Appleyard going for it, and he goes to the warning track and catches it. That ball was hit so hard, and having to run a long way to get it was Appleyard, but he hauls it in. So 3 fly ball outs to end the inning. St. Clair gets a 3 up, 3 down inning, but it wasn't easy. Half an inning played. Humber no score. St. Clair coming to bat. So we move to the bottom of the first inning here in Oshawa, Kinsmen Stadium. Brian Oliver along with Jacob Ebbs. Glad you could join us for the live stream call of this game. The Humber Hawks and the St. Clair Saints. Winner of this game advances to the gold medal round. Loser of this game will face the Seneca Sting tomorrow in an elimination game at 10 o'clock. It's a double knockout tournament. You keep playing until you lose a second game. Unless you don't lose that second game, you'll be the champion. And St. Clair will send up Carter Ray, Josh Anderson, and Colin Robinson here in the bottom of the first inning. And this gives us a chance to see Shane O'Keefe of the Humber Hawks. He's a right-hander, and he looks like he's got good stuff.
Yeah, he is. I played with Shane O'Keefe a few years back, and the guy was always a hard-throwing righty, rather. He always had some pretty decent off-speed, has a really good curveball. It's going to be interesting to see how he's going to do against the St. Clair Saints tonight.
Again, O'Keefe with a 3.67 earned run average in the regular season, 4 wins against 1 loss, had a complete game, and led the Hawks in innings pitched with 21. A lot of all-stars on the field tonight, too, for both of these teams. The Humber Hawks and the St. Clair Saints each getting 4 all-stars out of the 11 all-stars in the OCAA. So we've got a lot of talent on the field. Talk about those all-stars later on in the game. Carter Ray is ready to go. Second baseman for St. Clair, bats from the right side. Bottom of the first inning here, Humber no score. And St. Clair now at the plate as Ray hits that ball to third base. And we'll see it thrown over to first. And a great scoop there by Cam Wilcox on a throw by Justin Raspanti for the first out of the ball game. 1 pitch, 1 away. So that's a great start for O'Keefe there and the Humber Hawks.
One pitch, one out. I love it.
Exactly what pitchers like to see. And of course, it's a cold night. If you can get out of an inning quickly, that's a bonus as well. We saw Brock Whitson throw quite a few pitches in the first inning, but he got 3 fly ball outs. 3 up, 3 down, but he threw quite a few pitches. Josh Anderson is the batter now. He's one of the OCAA All-Stars for the St. Clair Saints from Ajax. The shortstop bats from the right side. Count is 1-0. That ball bounces in front of the plate. 2 balls and no strikes to Josh Anderson. This is familiar turf for Anderson. Has played many games here at Kinsmen Stadium. Being from Ajax, played for the Oshawa Legionnaires during the summertime. Takes a strike there, 2-1. And he will take that pitch high, 3-1. Anderson is not a player that Humber would like to see get on base because he is a threat to steal if he gets on. Here's the 3-1 pitch as O'Keefe works fast. He takes strike 2. Anderson thought maybe it was a ball for a walk, but he will get back into the batter's box. Full count now to Josh Anderson. O'Keefe working very quickly. Here's the 3-2. That bounces, and it's a walk. Anderson goes down to first, and he is the first base runner of the game. And the St. Clair Saints have a runner at first with 1 out here in the bottom of the first, and that'll bring up another All-Star for St. Clair in Colin Robinson.
Well, you know what? One pitcher is missing high, one pitcher is missing low. Shane O'Keefe has been missing a little bit low to start off. Obviously, each mound is a little bit different from the next. It's like fingerprints. Some of them are going to be a little bit different. You got to change mechanics just a slight bit with each.
And now O'Keefe has to work with the base runner on as he fires the first pitch into Robinson for a strike. 0-1. We'll keep an eye on Josh Anderson at first base. He is a threat to steal. Count is 0-1. To Colin Robinson, first baseman for the Saints. O'Keefe is ready. Off speed, bounces in front of the plate. Great block there by the catcher to keep it in front of him. 1-1. Tyrus Bath is the catcher for Humber. Robinson is back in here with the 1-1 count. Anderson, the runner at first, getting a close look at O'Keefe, the pitcher. See if he goes. Does not. Pitch is outside for ball 2. As a pitcher, Jake, you have a lot more to think about when there are runners on base.
Yeah, you really do. It gets bad enough when you got a runner on. It's even worse when you got someone who can run on you at any given time. As a lefty, it's a little bit easier because I can always get a good look at the guy, but you got to make sure you're changing your looks as that ball gets by.
O'Keefe wild on that pitch. It gets by, and Anderson goes all the way to second on the wild pitch. And Robinson now with a 3-1 count.
But truly, it kind of takes your thought process away from the hitter a little bit. You got to kind of divide your mental attention between the guy on first, varying your times, varying your step, all that stuff, as well as attacking the hitter.
So it's now 3 balls and 1 strike to Colin Robinson. St. Clair has Josh Anderson at second base in scoring position. Opportunity knocking here for the Saints in the bottom of the first inning in a scoreless game. Here's O'Keefe's pitch. It is low. Ball 4. Second consecutive walk for O'Keefe.
That was a good pitch.
And now the Saints have runners at first and second with 1 away. And it'll be the catcher, Henry Real. Cleanup hitter. And Real is another one of the All-Stars for St. Clair, and he crushes that hard to left field. All the way to the warning track. Dennis DeBanning will catch it and throw it into the infield. Anderson tags and comes to third on the play. That ball was one of the deepest we've seen hit here to left field That might have been out of a number of ballparks. It's a very deep wall in left field, and DeBanning is able to catch that at the warning track for the second out.
We were talking about appealing in an earlier game. I thought potentially the runner on second there might have left just a half second too early. But even if not, that guy's got some wheels over to third. My goodness.
Yeah, Josh Anderson is a speedster for the St. Clair Saints. One of the fastest players in the OCAA and one of the All-Stars this year. As the batter is Enoch Watts, the third baseman. He fouls away the first pitch from O'Keefe. It's 0-1. Runners at the corners for St. Clair here in the bottom of the first. Scoring opportunity. O'Keefe looking to work his way out of it. Both runners reached on walks. 0-1 pitch coming here to Watts. Swing and a miss at a pitch way out in front.
That was a nasty curveball.
And it's 0-2. So O'Keefe under some pressure here for Humber in the bottom of the first inning, but he goes to his bag of tricks there with a great curveball, and it's 0-2. Enoch Watts, the third baseman, is standing in. Count is 0-2, 2 away. Runners at the corners. That same pitch again, that bounces in front, and a great job by Tyrus Bath to block it. Count is 1-2.
Yeah, Tyrus already getting in his reps early. He's at the block 4 or 5 pitches from Keefe.
Shane O'Keefe looks in for the signal. Checks the runner at first. That's Robinson. Anderson is at third. Here's the 1-2. Runner goes, and the catcher Bath is not able to come up with it, and it is a stolen base. As Robinson goes down to second. Trying to draw a throw there, perhaps, and maybe if Anderson had a chance, if the throw went down to second, that Anderson would try and score.
Yeah, Anderson's pretty aggressive. If that ball went down to second base, he would have taken off.
Here's the pitch, 1-2. It's fouled away and right at us. Bounces right off the fence. Count is 2-2 to Enoch Watts. Runners at the corners for St. Clair. Bottom of the first inning. Sorry, runners at second and third, pardon me. Anderson at third, Robinson at second. Here's the 2-2 from O'Keefe. Fouled again, and that one was fouled and went off the helmet of Tyrus Bath, and he is shaken up on the play. And Tyrus Bath is going to take a walk and kicks the dirt, as you can see in front of him. He's going to have a word here with the training staff of the Humber Hawks, but they're going to talk things over here. That ball hit him really hard on the head, and he instantly put his head down after getting hit.
Yeah, that one hit him flush. Didn't really catch much of the mask. That just kind of hit the top, the skull cap that he's got there on the two-piece. Those really, shake the birds awake up there.
And a round of applause here from the fans at Kinsmen Stadium as Bath is going to stay in. And had a moment to clear things up there, but that was a hard foul off his helmet, or his mask, as Watts fouled it off to stay alive. This will be the 7th pitch of this at-bat. St. Clair with runners at second and third, 2 away. And looking to score here in the first inning, Humber trying to shut the door. Shane O'Keefe is ready with the 2-2. That is popped to the right side, and it'll be out of play. We'll do it again. So there we go with more 2-strike fouls, as we see the batters doing a great job in these games this weekend. Here comes pitch number 8 to Enoch Watts. It's a 2-2 count. O'Keefe is ready. Another foul. Watts stays alive again. He has fouled off 4 2-strike pitches to stay alive. And now Bath will go out and have a chat with O'Keefe. Watts has seen a lot of pitches here, Jake, and as a batter, the more you see, the more you're able to maybe catch up on the timing and hope for a mistake.
Yeah, exactly. Catch up on the timing, and when you got a good guy like Watts here who's just understanding and seeing everything, you think he's going to go back to a dugout afterwards and say, hey, listen, I've seen all of his pitches, probably most of them multiple times. This is what it's doing. This is what it's going on. That's what the fastball look like. Is it cutting? Is it moving? What's going on?
Here's the 9th pitch of the at-bat. It's in the dirt and blocked by Bath, and the count goes full. 3-2. Big battle here between Shane O'Keefe and Enoch Watts. St. Clair with runners at second and third, 2 out. This is the 10th pitch of this at-bat. O'Keefe is ready. Here it comes. Fouled away again. We're going to do it again. This is a classic battle, Jake.
This is fantastic. I love it. As a pitcher myself, going through like long battles like that, you're kind of like, what do I have to do to get this guy out? Sometimes the evil person in me says, hey, let's hit him. Fouled off too many.
This will be pitch number 11 of the at-bat. Watts has fouled off 5 2-strike pitches. O'Keefe trying to put him away here and keep St. Clair off the board. Here it is, and it's on the ground to first base. They will flip it to the pitcher covering O'Keefe to retire the side, and O'Keefe wins that battle, and it's a big one. It took 11 pitches to get Watts out, but the St. Clair Saints are turned aside. They leave 2 runners. We've played an inning, and it is a 0-0 tie between the Humber Hawks and the St. Clair Saints. So after all of that, St. Clair threatening but not able to score. Something we saw a little bit of in the first game tonight, or the earlier game between the Durham Lords and the Seneca Sting, where we saw, I don't know if it's a record or not, but we saw 25 base runners stranded by both teams combined in that game between the Seneca Sting and the Durham Lords. Seneca stranded 13, Durham stranded 12 over the course of a 7-inning game. Never seen really anything quite like that. And here the St. Clair Saints strand 2 in the first inning. No hits in the ball game. Both of base runners for St. Clair in that first inning reached base by walks.
Yeah, that was. I don't know about you, Brian. Watching that game, that was tough. That was a tough one to watch. Just a lot of failed situational hitting. Just we saw a bases loaded situation for the Lords, and I believe it was in the 6th inning. Nobody out, bases loaded. Really, all you have to do is hit a fly ball, get something in the air so you can tag, get home. And the Seneca Sting, they got out of that without even allowing a run. It was insane.
The pitchers managed to do their job.
They did. They walked the tightrope.
So we go to the top of the second here for Humber. It's the 4, 5, and 6 hitters, and it'll start with Ken Wilcox, the first baseman, jersey number 20, bats from the right side, facing Whitson, and that ball is popped up high. Might be playable. No, it's not. It's going to be out of play here. It'll stay within the stadium, just behind the fence. 0-1. Brock Whitson, the starting pitcher for St. Clair, got a 3-up, 3-down inning in the first, but a couple of loud fly balls that were some great defense by St. Clair to keep the Humber batters off the base paths.
Yeah, really, that was 2 outstanding grabs. Full sprints, one diving in, one running back. Great work overall.
Wilcox takes a ball, so it's a 1-1 count here. Top of the second, nobody out. Pitch is low. 2-1 to Wilcox. No hits in the ball game. Whitson looking to retire his 4th consecutive batter of the game. Here's the 2-1. That is hit hard to center field, and coming in to catch it is Spencer Moran. Great catch, and there's another fly ball out for the Humber Hawks. They're hitting it hard, but the outfielders are doing their job for St. Clair on the defensive side. One away.
Yeah, it's slightly concerning that Whitson's giving up a lot of hard fly ball outs. Outs are still outs, but I would like to see just a few more ground ball plays.
That'll bring up Aiden Murphy, second baseman. One of the veterans of this team, of the Humber Hawks, as he looks at ball 1 from Brock Whitson. Aiden Murphy was one of 4 All-Stars for the Humber Hawks this year in the OCAA, along with Dennis DeBanning, Dalton Brownlee, and Stephen Nabrebecki. Here's the 1-0. Another fly ball to deep left center field. The outfielders are giving chase. This time it's the left fielder, Patrick Kibble, hauling it in on a long fly ball to deep left center. 5 outs, all of them hard hit fly balls to the outfield, but all of them caught by the St. Clair defense.
Well, the only thing that can be said at this point is that Humber is on Whitson right now. They have his number. We're not seeing hits just yet, but we're not seeing base hits yet, but I'll tell you, they are hitting him hard.
So 2 away, and the batter is the designated hitter, Jacob Turner. Looks at ball 1 from Brock Whitson. Humber Hawks looking for their first base runner of the game. We are in the top of the second inning, no score between the Hawks and the Saints. Pitch is just low for ball 2. Turner is the DH for Humber. If he reaches, David Boato will be the next batter, shortstop for Humber. Count is 2-0. Whitson is ready, and that is inside, ball 3. So this is just the second 3-ball count of the game for the St. Clair pitcher. Turner trying to become the first base runner for Humber, and he will take high, ball 4, and he just does that. Turner goes down to first. First base runner for Humber on that walk. And that'll break off a streak of 5 straight retired by Brock Whitson. So Boato will be the batter, shortstop for the Hawks. And a runner on base here with 2 away in the top of the second. Whitson is ready, and he's high again. Ball 1. 5 consecutive balls here thrown by Whitson as he's gunning it in there. He's been hit hard with a lot of fly balls, but now he's struggling to find the zone in the last moment or so anyway.
Yeah, it seems. I'm not too sure what's going on. I think he might be trying to be a little bit too fine with his mechanics. Or it could just be the cold just getting to him.
There's another high pitch. Ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. The Humber Hawks have a base runner in Jacob Turner at first base. 2 away. St. Clair looking to turn away the Hawks here in the second inning. No score. Winner goes to the gold medal matchup tomorrow. Whitson is ready, and he misses again. Ball 3. And combined with the last batter, that's ball 7. 3-0 to Boato. Turner gets a lead at first. Likely not going here. He gets a good jump, but that pitch is in there for a strike, so there's a strike. And Whitson finally breaks off that string of 7 consecutive balls. 3-1 is the count. 2 away, runner at first. Humber batting, top of the second. And now he'll check the runner back over to first base.
I don't really understand that. It's just you just found your release point, and you're gonna wreck it again by throwing over the first base.
Here's the 3-1 pitch. Brock Whitson is ready to go. Let's see if he finds the zone here. It's popped up in the infield. And a little bit of confusion in the infield, but Josh Anderson. Okay, it was caught by Josh Anderson. Now, the umpire had called interference on the base runner, but it all turns out to be a moot point because Anderson caught the ball anyway. There was a collision there between Jacob Turner, the base runner, as he went to second base. He collided with Carter Ray, the second baseman for St. Clair, but Anderson ended up catching the ball anyway, the shortstop, and the inning is over. So, a minor threat there for the Hawks in the second inning, but they are unable to score. We've played an inning and a half. It is Humber and St. Clair tied at no score. So as we move to the bottom of the second now, as the St. Clair Saints come up to bat in a scoreless game against the Humber Hawks, it will be the 6, 7, and 8 hitters for St. Clair. St. Clair in the white jerseys, Humber in the dark blue jerseys. Temperature has dropped to 4 degrees right now, Jake. So that's the air temperature. So we know that the wind chill is a little colder than 4 degrees. Might be closer to the freezing point right now.
Yeah, I'm not feeling too warm right now, Brian. Not feeling too warm. Looking forward to being back home after this game and being warm again. What a feeling.
I'm sure the players are wishing it was a little bit warmer. They've had, over the course of the fall season, pretty mild temperatures for most of the games this year.
Yeah, they have.
But a chilly night in Oshawa, but let's see if the bats heat up here for the St. Clair Saints. The first batter hits it hard to first base. Cam Wilcox not able to come up with it. And there you go. You've got the first base. Well, might be scored an error, might be scored a base hit. A tough play for Wilcox at first. Anyway, it's a hit by Riley Briggs, and runner on first for St. Clair with nobody out here in the second inning.
Yeah, I think that's going to go down on E3 on Cam Wilcox there. I think he had enough time there to get in front of the ball. He just tried to – I think he tried to backhand it, actually.
Tried to backhand it.
Yeah.
It took a hard bounce on it, on him, and it was hit pretty hard.
It was, yeah.
So Briggs finds his way. Briggs is the DH. And that'll bring up Spencer Moran, the center fielder. St. Clair with a base runner here with nobody out in the bottom of the second. Moran will try to bunt and misses at it, so it's a strike, 0-1. Looked like maybe a late decision there. He's trying to maybe do a drag bunt.
Yeah, I think it was kind of I don't think he was bunting just to get it down. He was bunting for a hit there, trying to drag it down the first baseline.
Count is 0-1 to Moran. Tries to bunt that time, and it hit him, and they will award him first base. And I don't know, that ball hit him, but he tried to bunt, and it certainly looked like he made the attempt. And Humber is going to argue it.
So it hit him, but I don't think he pulled the bat back.
If he didn't pull the bat back and he made an attempt to hit the ball, that, even though he is hit by the pitch, it should not be a hit by pitch. Humber is really upset about that call, and I think there's a valid argument there for the Hawks.
Yeah, there really is. And the problem is that, like, at this point, you also have two other umpires right there that you can check in with and see hey, if you see this guy pull the bat back, you have the guy down the first baseline who really is there to check if he did pull the bunt back. Home plate umpire is not even going for it.
There are two other, you're right, there are two other umpires on the field right now, and the home plate umpire did not consult with either of them on that play. And the Hawks are upset. It's now runners at first and second, nobody out. The batter is Patrick Kibble. He tries to bunt, takes it back. Ball one.
It's going to interesting to see, will this bite Humber in the butt? Probably will. You give teams additional outs like that or additional chances, even though it wasn't really their fault.
Shane O'Keefe finding himself in a bit of a jam. Here's the 1-0 pitch. It is fouled off the bunt attempt to the right side, and the count moves to 1-1 against Patrick Kibble, the left fielder for the St. Clair Saints. This inning began with Riley Briggs hitting a sharp ball to first base. We think might be scored an error. And then Spencer Moran was hit by a pitch on a bunt attempt, and the umpire ruled that he did not get the bunt attempt across. The ball hit the batter, and it was called a hit by pitch. Corners are in here for Humber. Pitch is outside, 2-1. Both of these teams are offensive powerhouses, but they also play good defense, and may not necessarily expect a high-scoring game here tonight. So St. Clair trying to play some small ball here as Kibble is a 2-1 count. Will try and bunt again. Takes it low, 3-1.
I think Keefe is right now is just trying to do a little bit too much. You got to do one thing at a time. You got to throw the ball, then you got to go defend. I think he's trying to defend before he even throws the ball.
So it's a 3-1 count here to Patrick Kibble. Runners at first and second. Nobody out for the Saints in the second. Looking to bunt again. Fouls it off. Did not get he got the bat on it, but he fouled it downwards. It's a foul ball, and the count is now 3-2. And that might take the bunt off here for St. Clair.
I don't know. You know what? Shane O'Keefe has been really wild when the guy shows bunt. So I think he might do it again. St. Clair has got a really strong hitting team. So you know what? I think I might risk the out, just try and do it again.
Here's the 3-2 pitch again to Kibble. Swinging away and fouls it off.
Maybe I have more confidence than Coach does.
So Kibble fouls off that 3-2 pitch. The runners go back to first and second. It's Briggs at second, Moran at first. Kibble trying to move them up. Maybe get on base himself here. Full count, nobody out. A scoreless game in the second inning. Kibble swings and misses it. Strike three. Huge out for Shane O'Keefe, one away. That is the first strikeout of the ball game for Shane O'Keefe. And that'll bring up Hudson Appleyard, the right fielder. He bats from the right side. So Kibble unable to get the bunt down, and the runners are still at first and second now with one away. Hudson Appleyard is ready. He will take strike one. And you can just sense, Jake, that this feels like a really big moment in the ball game right now, even though it's only the second inning.
Yeah, you know what? I don't know what it is. It's just kind of that feeling that you do get when you realize something like this is not going to happen too often. You got two big teams, bases loaded, one out. Sorry, probably second, third. Wow, first and second, one out.
Big swing there from Appleyard, but he misses it, and the count is quickly 0-2. As Shane O'Keefe, who managed to work out of a jam in the first inning after a couple of walks, is trying to do the same here in the second. Count is 0-2. Appleyard hits that hard to right field. That ball is down. In there, and the base runners are going. Here comes the first run is going to come in. We see a run at the plate, or a throw at the plate rather, and it is an RBI double for Hudson Appleyard, and St. Clair breaks out in front here, 1-0 on a clutch one-out double. Briggs scores all the way from second on that play. He had to wait to make sure it was caught. Moran comes around from first to third, so it's now second and third with one out.
Yeah, that ball was scorched down the right field line. Perfectly placed. Great piece of hitting. Well done.
So RBI double for Hudson Appleyard, 1-0 St. Clair. Bottom of the second inning, and more potentially here for the Saints as Carter Ray, the second baseman, will come up. Top of the order. He takes ball one. Appleyard at second, Moran at third. Only one out here for the Saints in the bottom of the second inning, 1 run already home. O'Keefe's pitch is taken for strike. 1-1. And that hit by Appleyard, by the way, first hit of the ball game by either team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it was a big one. Into the right field corner. Here's O'Keefe with the 1-1 pitch. It's fouled to the left side, and that'll move it to 1-2.
Yeah, with two big pitchers going up against each other, well, two big teams as well, opportunities to score are not going to be as often as probably one would think.
An indication of how cold it is right now. You can see everyone's breath in the field. Mm-hmm. It is chilly. 1-2 is the count to Carter Ray. Pitch taken outside for a ball. 2-2.
Keith throwing a lot of pitches. It seems like every hitter he's going 2-2, 3-2.
Second and third, one away for the Saints here in the bottom of the second. They lead at 1-0 over Humber. Here's the 2-2. It is hit to the right side into the outfield. There is a defensive play as the second baseman catches it and will run it in. No sacrifice fly there for the Saints as it is caught by Aiden Murphy, the second baseman, number 24. And that is the second out of the inning. That's a big out. It'll bring up Josh Anderson, the shortstop. So O'Keefe gets the pop out to second base to Aiden Murphy. Runners have to hold. Second and third, 2 out. Josh Anderson will take high and inside, ball 1. Anderson in this game walked in the first inning in his first plate appearance and was stranded at third. St. Clair left 2 runners on base in the first inning. They have 2 runners on base here now with 2 out here in the bottom of the second and a 1-0 lead. The 1-0 pitch to Anderson is fouled. Josh Anderson bats from the right side. He is the St. Clair shortstop. Count is a ball and a strike. 2 away. Moran at third, Appleyard at second. Appleyard doubled in the first run of the ball game just a moment ago. As that ball gets away from the catcher, Bath, and coming in to score is Moran on a wild pitch. It is 2-0 St. Clair.
I'm not sure if that was just, it didn't look like a curveball. I think that was a changeup, just got away from him, pulled too hard down on the string and just.
So a big wild pitch there scores Spencer Moran from third base. It is 2-0 St. Clair. And Appleyard moves down to third on that wild pitch. Anderson with a 2-1 count. And he takes that high for ball 3.
Yeah, and Shane O'Keefe, I think, is trying to be a little too fine with his mechanics right now.
The Saints have struck for 2 runs here in the second inning, looking for more as Anderson takes ball 4. Close, but it is called ball 4, and Anderson gets his second walk of the ball game. And now the Saints have runners at the corners with 2 away. And here comes Colin Robinson, the hard-hitting first baseman for St. Clair. Power hitter.
Big boy had 3 home runs this year alone. This guy is a tank.
And he is looking to extend this lead here for St. Clair in the bottom of the second inning. 2 runs already in. on an RBI double by Hudson Appleyard, and then a wild pitch that scored Spencer Moran. Pitch to Robinson is just off the plate for ball one. And the Humber faithful make some remarks about that pitch. It's a ball, 1-0.
Not too sure what was wrong with that one, but hey.
Here's O'Keefe with the 1-0 pitch. That's hit on the ground. Goes to second base. They will step on second to get the force out of Anderson at second, and the side is retired. So 2 runs for the St. Clair Saints in the second inning. We've played 2. St. Clair 2. Humber, no score. So in that second inning for the St. Clair Saints, 2 runs on 1 hit. There was an error. 2 runners left on base. St. Clair with 2 runs, and we'll carry that into the third inning now as we will see the 8, 9, and 1 hitters for the Humber Hawks. Tyrus Bath, the catcher, will lead things off for Humber in just a moment. Again, taking a look at the awards this year in the OCAA, congratulations to Humber's Dennis DeBanning. He was the player of the year in the OCAA. His teammate, Stephen Narebecki, was the batting champion with a batting average of .478. St. Clair pitcher Cameron O'Reilly was pitcher of the year. So congratulations to the Saints pitcher, who has not yet appeared in the tournament. We're expecting to see him tomorrow. Tyler Chong of the Durham Lords was the Rookie of the Year in the OCAA, and Coach of the Year was Matthew Naylor of the Seneca Sting, who led his team to a first-place finish in the OCAA East Division, and he has got his team into the medal round here in the tournament after his team knocked off the Durham Lords 2-0 in the elimination game that happened earlier this evening. So those are your major award winners in the OCAA this year. The All-Stars, Tyler Chong for Durham was one of them. Humber with 4, Dalton Brownlee, Dennis DeBanning, Aidan Murphy, and Stephen Narebecki. St. Clair with 4 OCAA All-Stars this year. Colin Robinson, Henry Real, Cameron O'Reilly, and Josh Anderson. And the other 2 All-Stars went to the Fanshawe Falcons, Greg Van Bokel and Ferris Adamu. So those were the awards that were announced. They didn't have the banquet this year as they traditionally do due to COVID. So they were handing out the awards before each of those teams played their games here at Kinsmen Stadium. So congratulations to all of the award winners. We go to the third inning. Humber Hawks trailing this game 2-0 to the St. Clair Saints. And it'll be the catcher, Tyrus Bath, and he'll look at ball 1 from Brock Whitson. Here's the 1-0. That just misses for strike, for a ball rather. 2 balls and no strikes. Of course, our angle is just off to the right side of the plate. We're not directly behind the plate. That one looked pretty close.
That did.
Whitson's 2-0 pitch is high, ball 3. 3-0 to Tyrus Bath. The Humber Hawks looking for their first hit of the ball game. They've only had 1 base runner. They've hit the ball hard earlier on with 5 fly ball outs deep to the outfield, but they have yet to get a base hit against Brock Whitson. And the 3-0 pitch is in there for strike 1. Hudson Lockwood will be the next batter for Humber. He is the number 9 hitter, so it's the 8, 9, and 1.
Sorry. Oh, it looked like there was some bickering just between the hitter Bath and home plate umpire.
As Bath fouls that one away for strike 2, so the count now full. So Whitson battles back from a 3-0 count to get a strike and then a foul ball. So 3-2 to Tyson Bath. The Humber catcher is ready, and he will take ball 4. It's a walk, and second base runner of the game for the Hawks. The second walk of the game given up by Brock Whitson, and that'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Hudson Lockwood, the right fielder.
Sorry to interrupt you there earlier,
No problem.
Brian, but what was going on looked like is that I guess on that 3-0 pitch, that was definitely, I guess Bath thought that was quite a bit outside. He was so upset with it. He was trying to say something to the umpire, and the umpire kept demanding that he get back into the box. That's when the third base coach for the Hawks tried intervening, but home plate umpire is being a bit stingy right now, it looks like.
So it's a 2-0 game in favor of St. Clair as Lockwood puts that ball onto the ground to third. They'll throw to second for 1. On to first, and it's over the head of Robinson, and that will allow Lockwood to go into second base. So we will see that as a fielder's choice for Lockwood getting to first. Bath is forced out 5-4, and then we see an overthrow at first base. There'll be a defensive error by St. Clair that allows Lockwood to go to second. So it's a runner at second for Humber now here in the top of the third inning, and a 2-0 lead for the Saints. I think it was Carter Ray, the second baseman, who made that. Not sure I think it was Carter Ray who made that throw over to first base, but it was way over the head of the first baseman, Robinson. So
I believe it was Carter Ray because he was the one that on Bath's slide follow through, it took out Ray's right leg and ended up hitting Bath in the head, I believe. Knocked his helmet right off.
So the batter will be Stephen Rebecki. He is the OCAA batting champion at .478 this year. Coming up in a situation for his team, trailing 2-0 in the top of the third inning. Humber's still looking for its first hit of the game. They've gone through the entire order without a hit so far. There have been a couple of walks. Brock Whitson will face now Rebecki for the second time. Now they've got the runner and a rundown between second and third, and Lockwood is caught as the pitcher steps off and throws over to third baseman Enoch Watts, and they will tag Lockwood, and he is retired. That's a huge base running mistake by Humber.
Yeah, that was that's just being too jumpy and way too aggressive. I understand you're trying to get back in the game, but you got to be smart. You can't be giving outs like that.
So that's the second out of the inning. 2 away. Now Rebecki tries to bunt. Not something we would typically expect from the batting champion of the OCAA to lay down a bunt in a game when he's trailing 2-0. Wow. Trying to catch the defense by surprise perhaps, but he fouls it away. The count is 1-1.
He's fast, but he ain't that fast.
Now Rebecki with all kinds of power. Tried to lay down a bunt. I don't expect we're going to see that again.
No.
Here's the 1-1 from Whitson, and it is low. Ball 2. 2-1. Very close. The Humber Hawks trailing this game 2-0. We are in the top of the third inning. Humber did have a base runner at second a moment ago, but Lockwood was caught stealing between second and third. Here's the 2-1 pitch. It is ripped to right field. There's your first hit of the ball game, as now Rebecki runs down to first base as he smacks one to right center, and there's a 2-out base runner for the Hawks. Now Rebecki with a solid single, first hit of the game for Humber.
Now that's what you see a batting champion do.
Dennis DeBanning will be the batter with 2 away. Now Rebecki at first. DeBanning is 0 for 1 in the ball game. He flied out to right field back in the first inning. Hawks looking to get on the scoreboard here in the top of the third inning. 2 out. DeBanning takes the first pitch low for ball 1. Now Rebecki is a threat to steal on first base, but also don't want to take the bat out of the hand of the OCAA Player of the Year here, Dennis DeBanning, when you're trailing by 2.
Exactly.
Count is 1-0. Whitson deals. That is hit hard to the third baseman. And Watts will throw it over to first. DeBanning is out. Great running throw there by the third baseman. No damage for St. Clair as the defense comes up big. And Humber is turned away. No runs on 1 hit. 1 runner left on base. And 2.5 innings in the books here at Kinsmen Stadium on a chilly night as the St. Clair Saints lead this game. In the middle of the 3rd inning, it is 2-0 St. Clair. The home team, St. Clair Saints, coming up to bat here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. They lead this game 2-0. Both of their runs coming in the 2nd inning. The Saints with 2 runs on 1 hit so far in the ball game. The Humber Hawks with no runs on 1 hit. So we've seen a number of base runners, but and a lot of hard hit balls, but not a lot in the way of base hits so far in the game. And maybe that's a little bit of a surprise when you've got 2 of the hardest hitting teams offensively in the OCAA, Jake.
Yeah, you know what? It's you're not wrong there. 2 of the hardest hitting, 2 of the best teams in the OCAA, maybe within the country in all reality. But when you got good pitching out there, it's kind of hard to hit balls hard. I know that we're seeing a lot of deep fly balls. We're seeing a lot of outs. We're not seeing a whole lot of balls to the gap or anything like that, which is a good thing.
Henry Real will be the first batter for St. Clair here in the bottom of the 3rd. He looks at ball 1 from Shane O'Keefe. Starting pitcher for the Hawks remains in the game here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. He trails at 2-0. Real is 0 for 1 in the ball game. He flied out to left field in the 1st, and he looks at ball 2. 2-0. O'Keefe has only given up 1 hit in the game so far, but he has walked 3. Ball is popped up. Tyrus Bath gives chase at it behind home plate, and it's just out of play. Count is 2-1. Big home run cut there by Real.
Well, we saw him drive the ball deep to left center in his last at-bat.
Here's the 2-1. Swing and a miss. That one was in the dirt. And it goes off the catcher and rolls to the right side. Count is 2-2. Another big cut there, but that time O'Keefe took something off of it.
Yeah, it really did. Like I said, O'Keefe's got a good curveball. It's if he's able to locate it is the real deal breaker.
2-2 pitch, and he gets Real on a strikeout. First out of the inning for St. Clair. That is strikeout number 2 in the ball game for the Humber starter. And it'll bring up Enoch Watts. He is the third baseman. Bats from the left side. He is 0 for 1 in the ball game and had a colossal at bat back in the first inning. As he looks at ball 1, Watts went 11 pitches against O'Keefe in that first inning and ended up grounding out to the first baseman as he swings and fouls that away for a count of 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, O'Keefe is going to be seeing Watts in his dreams tonight. It's going to be a nightmare.
Ball and a strike. Nobody on the base paths for the Saints here in the bottom of the third inning as that ball comes in low, 2-1. Only base hit of this ball game was Hudson Appleyard. Fouled away, strike 2.
I think this is the exact same situation we saw ourselves in last time when battle between these two. And then it became like 5 or 6 fouled off pitches.
Here's the 5th pitch of the at-bat. The 2-2 is low, ball 3, 3-2. Gets away from the catcher, but no harm done. There's nobody on the base paths. One away. And correction, Hunter Appleyard has the only hit of the ball game so far for the Saints. That was a RBI double back in the second inning. The other run of this game scored on a wild pitch. Here's the 3-2, fouled away. Watts does it again. 6 pitches now. Here comes pitch number 7 between O'Keefe and Watts. They had 11 pitch battle in the first inning. Here comes number 7 in this one. O'Keefe is ready. Here's the 3-2 pitch. And it's high, ball 4, and it's a walk. So this time Watts wins the battle. And he goes down to first with a 1-out walk. And it'll bring up the designated hitter, Riley Briggs. Briggs reached on an error to first base back in the second inning, later scored. This time he comes up with a runner on first and 1 away. Humber trailing this game 2-0 to the St. Clair Saints. Again, the winner of this game advances to the gold medal matchup and would have to lose twice tomorrow in order to not win the championship. So lots at stake here. Emotions are high. Lots of atmosphere as Briggs takes a look at ball 1. And that's perhaps also why you see a lot of the chirping of the calls. Margin of difference between these two teams is so small. Runner goes. Ball is hit to the right side. That's a foul ball.
Watts had a fantastic jump on that. You're good. But, Brian, you make a fantastic point. Like, these two teams are neck and neck. And really, when it comes down to something like this, when you're thinking of hardware, when you're thinking of, school pride, things of that nature, it makes it easy to rip on an umpire. I say as if I've never ripped on an umpire for anything before, but it makes it really difficult. It really does. 1-1
pitch is taken low for ball 2. O'Keefe shrugs his shoulders at that one as he was looking for that call, doesn't get it. 2-1 now, the count to Riley Briggs, and there's just a perfect example of a close play. And hey, it's hard to umpire baseball. It's hard to umpire or officiate in any sport, especially when the competition is this good.
Yeah, you're so right. It really is difficult. And you know what? I've only seen one umpire in my history that has had bias.
There's a stolen base at second, and unable to come up with it is Tyrus Bath, and never slowing down was Watts. Stolen base, and then the wild pitch gets away from Bath. Couldn't come up with it quickly enough, and Briggs goes all the way to third. That is a huge situation because now there's a runner at third with only 1 away.
You want to talk heads-up baseball and not stopping? Right there.
So Watts is at third base. Briggs with a 3-1 count, takes high, ball 4.
I think the St. Clair bench is alive and well right now.
So the Saints have runners at the corners now with only 1 out. And Spencer Moran will come up. He was hit by a pitch and scored back in the second inning. And we're going to see a mound visit here as O'Keefe has seen that wild pitch lead to a runner going all the way from first to third. A couple pitches have been close at the plate, and of course, once a pitch is thrown, you can't dwell on what's happened in the past. You can be frustrated about it, but really, if you stew about it and make that your focus, you need to focus on the next pitch because you don't get anything back.
No, exactly. You got to have like a postseason mindset. One of my favorite players in the postseason was CC Sabathia because that guy was a dog on the mound. That guy, you know what, you could hit a grand slam off him. The very next pitch, you couldn't even tell you what happened. That's that kind of mindset you got to have. You got to understand the good things that you're doing, the bad stuff, you got to push it to the back. Don't think about it till after the game.
So here is Spencer Moran now, the center fielder for the St. Clair Saints. He comes up with runners at first and third, one away here in the bottom of the third inning, and the Saints already up 2-0. O'Keefe is ready to go after that mound visit. Pitch is taken low for ball one. Couple of walks here for the Saints has led to a big threat here as they look to tack on to a 2-0 lead. These two teams split their 2 games during the regular season, but the Saints finished a game ahead in the standings to take first place in the division. Shows bunt, runner from first goes down to second, and it's a stolen base for Briggs as Bath does not throw down, fearing maybe that the runner on third was going to come home. So it's second and third now with 1 out.
You know, maybe not a bad idea is to hold on to that. Watts has some definite speed down at third base. It would be very easy for him to take off.
Count is 2-0 to Moran. That pitch is outside, ball 3. 3-0.
Humber defense is played all the way in now. Looks like they're going right for the play if there's anything happens.
Infield on the infield grass right now. The count is 3-0 to Spencer Moran. A 3-0 count. And they are going to put Moran on first base, not take a chance with a 3-0 count.
What surprises me here is that our viewers can't see it on the live stream at this point, but down in the Humber bullpen, there's nothing going on. I'm not really in this situation when you know like Shane O'Keefe, he does have a little bit of trouble with controlling it. If he's on his game, it's game over for that other team. But in the other cases, when he is wild, you know, things like this kind of do unravel. You need to have someone there just in case. With that in mind, think of it the other way. What else do they have in the bullpen?
Well, that's right, because they've used a lot of pitchers already in the tournament. They had to use 5 pitchers last night in the George Brown game, and they also had to use a couple pitchers today in their first game against the Seneca Sting. Mm-hmm. Patrick Kibble is the batter here. He comes up with the bases loaded, only 1 out. Strike 1 from O'Keefe. Trying to work out of a big jam here in the bottom of the third inning. But you're right, no one in the bullpen. There's not even anyone sitting down there. Here's the 0-1 pitch. It is hit on the ground, might be double play, and it does not. It bounces off the shortstop.
Oh, that's tough. That's very tough.
David Boato tried to scoop it up, and on a cold night, anything can happen on a bounce. We know that the field can be a little bouncy and tricky here for infielders at Kinsmen Stadium, and that one ate up Boato. And he looked like he was going to get it and flip it to Aidan Murphy at second, and they might have had a double play ball, but it goes as an error to the shortstop, and it is now 3-0 St. Clair.
That's so tough because it looked like what happened there is that, again, you know, Brian said it perfectly. The ground here is hard. It's cold. Everything is going to take a mad bounce, and it looks like that's exactly what happened.
The batter is Hunter Appleyard. He is 1 for 1 in the ball game. He doubled home a run, the first run of the ball game for St. Clair in the second inning. Count is 1-0. Bases are loaded. 1 out. That ball is on the ground. Now another play on the ground, and this time they will throw on to first. They will not get the runner at first as Wilcox had to come off the bag to make that catch, and everyone is safe. Another runner comes in, 4-0 St. Clair. That might be another error.
You know what? I hate to say it, but that actually might be. I think what happened there is in Boto again. I hate to say it, but I think he dwelled on that last error because you see him kind of hesitate, take an extra second, which, you know what, that's fair. But in a situation when you're running and gunning, you got to get rid of it as fast as possible.
So a couple of runs home here for St. Clair in the third inning. It is 4-0 Saints. The batter is Carter Ray, the leadoff hitter. He's 0 for 2 in the game. the ground out to third. He popped out to second.
And we do see some movement going on down in the Humber bullpen. Someone is starting to get loose.
Count is 0-1 to Carter Ray. Bases loaded, 1 out. Saints 4, Hawks no score. Pitch inside. And that is ball 1. I think the Hawks were looking for a strike call there. They didn't get it. You could see that the catcher hesitated throwing it back to the pitcher, expecting to hear strike. Didn't get it.
Honestly, good for Shane O'Keefe, because I think at this point I might have gone tossed.
1-1 is the count to Carter Ray. Bases loaded, 1 out. Pitch swung on and missed, fouled, rather. Count is 1-2.
Yeah, no, it's incredibly tough when you're trying to work in a big game like this. Getting some calls that it could go either way, or sometimes they would get called and they're not. It really infuriates you.
Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes to Carter Ray. Bases loaded for the Saints here with 1 out. Bottom of the third, they are already up with a 4-0 lead. Pitch swung on and missed. Strike 3. Carter Ray is the second out of the inning. That is strikeout number 3 in the game for Shane O'Keefe. And that'll bring up Josh Anderson, the shortstop. He, in the game, has had 2 plate appearances. He's walked each time. So, bases loaded, 2 away, as we see a swing and a miss from Anderson, 0-1. And there's lots of musical entertainment on that pitch, as the PA system music did not come down during that pitch.
Yeah, no, it was they've had a tough day up there.
0-1 to Anderson. Ball is low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Base runners, Spencer Moran at third, Patrick Kibble at second, Hunter Appleyard at first. 2 runs in here for St. Clair in the bottom of the third in a 4-0 lead. Count is 1 ball and 1 strike to Josh Anderson. And he will take a pitch that looked like it was right over the plate. It is ball 2, 2-1. And the Hawks catcher that time completely flinched and jumped up and down in frustration with that call. 2-1 to Josh Anderson. Must have been inside, but boy, it looked good from this angle.
All right.
That ball is on the ground. The shortstop will get another chance here if he can. He steps on second base to get the force out to end the inning. That was a really close play at second, but the Hawks are able to limit the damage to just the 2 runs. And after 3 innings complete, it is the St. Clair Saints 4 and the Humber Hawks 0. So looking back and recapping that third inning for the St. Clair Saints, 2 runs were scored on no hits. There were 3 walks, and there were 2 errors to lead to those 2 runs for the Saints. So Shane O'Keefe in this game has only given up 1 base hit, but he's given up 4 runs. And the walks have come back to haunt him.
Yeah, they really have.
And we go to the top of the 4th inning now as the Humber Hawks, and we know they can explode, Jake, at any moment. We've seen them do it all season long. We've seen them do it in this tournament. They've got all kinds of weapons on the offensive side. Their bats are strong, and if they're able to find a way to break through on Brock Whitson, you wouldn't put it past the Hawks to come back. A 4-0 lead is never safe against Humber.
No, absolutely. Humber is a reactor of offense. They can just, you said it well, they can explode. They can tag you for as much as they want whenever. It's just they need a spark. They need something to go. We've seen it all tournament long and really all season long. They score in bunches. They don't kind of go 1 and 2. They go 5 and 6. They can go off whenever. They just need someone to get it going. They need a leadoff hit. They need a leadoff hit by pitch. Someone needs to spark the boys.
And in the fourth inning, we will see the 3, 4, and 5 hitters for the Humber Hawks. It'll be Justin Respanti, Cam Wilcox, and Aiden Murphy. The Hawks, though, only have 1 hit through the first 3 innings, which, again, is a bit of a surprise because of they are just such a great team at the plate. But the only hit in this ball game for Humber so far was Stephen Rebecki's single back in the 3rd inning. Justin Respanti will come up. He is 0 for 1 in the ball game. He flied out to deep right in the 1st inning. The first 5 batters of the game for Humber hit really deep fly balls in this game, and the bats seem to be really, really loud, but they have not been able to put anyone across yet, and they trail it 4-0. Not used to having to be playing from behind.
No, they're really not. They've been up all tournament long. Even against the game against George Brown, they were still scoring offense early. When they did go down, it didn't take them long to kind of catapult themselves back in front.
And on a cold night, the St. Clair Saints defensively will be looking to make sure that they're tight as well, and not give any extra outs if they can at all. Make sure that they don't give those outs away.
Yeah, absolutely.
1-0 pitch is fouled away by Respanti. It's 1-1.
With all credit to St. Clair, who have a fantastic program they have for many years, they're very solid on defense. It's very difficult to pick holes in their team. Their bullpen's solid. Their starting rotation's solid. Their 1 through 9 guys are solid.
St. Clair Saints are 5-time OCAA champions. They won the first 5 consecutive tournaments between 2013 and 2017. The last 2 championships were won by the Humber Hawks. So we're seeing the only champions in OCAA history facing off against each other here tonight. Count is 2-1 to Justin Respanti. Third baseman for the Humber Hawks. Looking to get on base here and get something started for the Hawks. They trail it 4-0. Pitch is outside, 3-1. Brock Whitson, again, has only given up 1 hit in the ballgame so far. He has walked 2. So he's given up 1 hit and 2 walks so far in the game. Three-1 pitch to Respanti, and it is taken just off the plate for ball 4. Again, a pitch that looked pretty close, and Respanti will get the 3rd walk of the game for the Hawks, and maybe a sign of light here for Humber as they get the leadoff runner on. They did get a leadoff walk back in the last inning, but they did have a runner in scoring position, but had Lockwood thrown out trying to steal 3rd with only 1 out.
Yeah, that was unfortunately just a mental miscue. Really, no fault other than his own in that play. I'm looking to see them do it again, though. I want to see them get a few guys on. Let's make this game competitive.
Cam Wilcox is the batter for Humber. He looks at ball 1 high. He is 0 for 1 in the ball game, flied out to deep center in the 2nd inning. Runner at first here, nobody out for Humber. They are trailing by 4, but looking to get back in the game here in the middle innings. Swing and a miss from Wilcox at a pitch that was high in the zone, 1-1.
Yeah, he was looking to elevate and celebrate on that one. Looks like he was trying to take it to the left field scoreboard out there.
No strikeouts in the game yet for Brock Whitson. He has walked 3, but given up just the 1 hit. He's had some good defense behind him as well. The count is 1-1. The pitch is high. 2-1 to Cam Wilcox. Justin Respanti is the base runner at first. You can see him on the right side of your screen, standing on first base. Now gets his lead. Colin Robinson trying to hold him on there, the first baseman. So there's a bit of room on the right side. And that ball is popped up. Might be a play here for Henry Real. He runs over here to the right side, and it is just on the other side of the fence, out of play. So it's a foul ball, and the count now 2-2.
That one kind of spooked me as that hit the bleachers just behind us.
Yes, just to the left of us here and behind us at Kinsmen Stadium. Our broadcast location is just to the right side of home plate, near the first base dugout of the St. Clair Saints. And we are going to see a delay here as Wilcox is going back over to talk to the trainer and is favoring his left hand. Now, again, we know how cold it is out here right now, and just the vibration of the bat on a batter's hand right now, everything is amplified in terms of pain on a cold night like this.
Yeah, it really is. That's one of the things you hate during fall ball or during, going into the postseason or anything like that. It's the cold temperatures. The cold temperatures wreaks havoc on your body. Getting an inside pitch like you did there, Wilcox still swinging, but unfortunately that's a risk you take, is having a jam like that. And anything like that, the cold makes it so much worse.
And Wilcox, there's some serious concern here right now, as they are still talking to him in front of just off your vantage point, in front of the Humber dugout on the third base side. And I think Wilcox looks like he's going to leave the game. He is walking off the field, favoring his left hand, and, well, he's now off the playing field and in the dugout, so not sure he's going to come out. Yes, he is going to come out of the game. So Wilcox is injured, and that's a big loss for the Humber Hawks, their first baseman. And we will see a pinch hitter come in here to complete the at-bat with a 2-2 count in a big situation here for Humber.
There's also no re-entry rule, so he is done for the game. And that means for rest of the night, hopefully tomorrow. Well, I mean, both teams will be in tomorrow, but whatever happens tomorrow, he'll be able to play.
So it looks like we're going to see Robert Champion come out here for Cam Wilcox. So Wilcox injured on that foul ball. And delay in the action right now. We get the nod from the third base coach. So Robert Champion, number 8, will come into the ball game to pinch hit. But he comes up in the middle of an at-bat. He's been sitting on the bench, of course, for all of this game as one of the bench players. And we'll see if he can pick things up here for Wilcox. The Hawks have a runner at first with nobody out here in the top of the fourth inning, trailing 4-0, and Robert Champion coming up in a big situation. He inherits the 2-2 count that Wilcox had. So Whitson is ready after the delay and the injury. And the pitch is high, ball 3-2. Champion trying to keep his hands warm. You can see him trying to keep those hands warm, rubbing against the upper thighs. 3-2 is the count here. Humber would love to get another base runner here in the top of the fourth inning. Here's the 3-2 from Whitson. Swing and a miss. And that is a strikeout. First of the game, actually, for Whitson, one away.
Yeah, that's really crappy. It's not too often you just come off the bench hot, ready to go, like Matt Stairs did back in when he played in the big leagues. It's so difficult. He's got one shot, missed it, back on the bench.
So Robert Champion is retired on the strikeout. He saw 2 pitches, he saw a ball, and then he took a cut at strike 3. One away here for Humber in the top of the fourth inning, and it'll be Aiden Murphy. Runner at first, 1 out, and Murphy looks at ball 1. Of course, the bigger concern right now for the Hawks is how badly injured Wilcox is, as he injured his hand on a batted ball that went out of play on a foul ball. Swing and a miss from Murphy for strike 1.
Yeah, what likely happened is he jammed his wrist somewhere throughout the swing, and I think potentially the foul ball might have jarred it just a little bit more. The vibration because of the cold for the foul ball.
Playing conditions very cold. Certainly the coldest night of the OCAA season this year, and the warm weather that Oshawa had earlier this week with temperatures. Even last night we still had temperatures of 17 degrees.
Yeah.
and it was raining. That ball is on the ground. Possible double play. Anderson comes up with it, throws to second for one. On to first, not in time. It is a fielder's choice for Aiden Murphy. Respanti is retired on the force out at second. There are two away. So it looked like a promising inning at a moment early on in this inning when Justin Respanti drew a leadoff walk. But now there are two outs and a runner at first, and the batter is Jacob Turner, the designated hitter. He walked in the second inning in his only plate appearance of the game. Turner bats from the right side, and he will look at ball one low. Brock Whitson, the starting pitcher for St. Clair. No runs and only one hit so far in the game. He's walked three and struck out one. Done a great job on the mound. His defense has also been terrific behind him so far. Here's the 1-0. Popped up right side, out of play, 1-1. As we reach 10 o'clock here on a very cold night in Oshawa. This game was originally scheduled to start at 6:30. It didn't start till 8:30. Runner goes. Throw down to second. They have a shot at him. It's a stolen base. Aiden Murphy gets in under the tag. And the Hawks have a runner in scoring position here in the top of the fourth inning with two out. Gutsy call. Trailing 4-0 to steal a base, but looking to try and shake things up maybe. As the Hawks have struggled so far offensively in this game. It's a 2-1 count to Jacob Turner. Aiden Murphy is at second base. Here's the 2-1. It is just in the inside corner for strike two. Saints love that call. The Hawks hate that call. No in between there. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Jacob Turner. Whitson trying to put another 0 up on the board. That ball bounces in the dirt. Runner goes down to third. Here's the throw. He is out at third base. Great throw by Henry Real and the ball was in the dirt. Aiden Murphy decided to go for it, and he is tagged out at third to end the inning, and that is another huge base running mistake by the Humber Hawks in this game. They've had a couple runners thrown out between second and third, and the result is another blank inning for the Humber Hawks. We've played 3.5 here at Kinsmen Stadium. It is the Saints 4 and the Hawks nothing.
I'm really not too sure what the thought process was behind that. The Hawks know Real has a fantastic arm behind the dish. Going for that when the ball was just a few feet in front of him. I understand you're trying to be aggressive, but it comes to a point where you're being too dangerous.
So we've seen Aiden Murphy, who had just stolen second and got in under the tag on a good throw by Real, but he was safe there, but thrown out at third base. The tag applied by Enoch Watts, and the inning ends. So no runs on no hits. There was a walk, and nobody left on base. So we go to the bottom of the fourth inning, and it's Saints in control right now as the bottom of the fourth comes up. It'll be the 3, 4, 5 hitters for St. Clair. It'll be Colin Robinson, Henry Real, and Enoch Watts to face Shane O'Keefe. The starting pitcher for the Hawks remains in the game. The Saints have had him on the ropes a couple of times. Did get out of a big jam there in the last inning as the Saints left the bases loaded. Saints have stranded 7 runners in this game, but they do lead at 4-0. And the hitter will be Colin Robinson. And in this game, he is 0 for 1. He reached on a fielder's choice back of the second, and he has walked. The power hitting first baseman for the Saints looks at ball 1 from Shane O'Keefe. And again, we're now starting to see a little bit of action in the Humber bullpen. The Hawks, though, not, they're also trying to conserve pitching for the rest of the tournament. But you have to make a decision here at some point when you're down 4-0. Pitch is high and tight to Robinson, 2-0. What do you think the thinking is here for Humber? You're down 4-0. You're never out of the game with an offense like you have, but we're midway through this game, and you have to save pitching. There's a strike.
Yeah, you know what? It's their backs are a little bit backed against the wall here. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. You waste your pitching today to beat St. Clair, and that's not even guaranteed. If you were up, say a sizable amount, say like 4-0 like St. Clair is, it might be a decent idea, to use some pitching to conserve, to get this win, because then you have to get beaten twice in the finals. But now that you're down, it's very tough. I don't want to be pessimistic when I say I don't think Humber's coming back. So maybe run him. Maybe run Shane O'Keefe.
It's a difficult decision either way for the Hawks.
It truly is.
3-2 is the count, and swinging and missing at a pitch. Over the plate there is Robinson. It is the strikeout. He is out. And that is strikeout number 4 in the ball game for Shane O'Keefe.
You know what? I'll keep it simple. If Humber starts getting some runs on the board, maybe I'll consider. And then Shane O'Keefe keeps pitching, not allowing any runs. Maybe bring in another pitcher, bring in some backup.
Here's the cleanup hitter, Henry Real. He's 0 for 2 in the ball game. Flied out to left. He is also struck out. 1-0 is the count. Pitch is tight inside. Real turns away from it, but it brushes by him. Count is 2-0. O'Keefe working very quickly here in the 4th inning. That ball is popped up and out of play. The count goes to 2-1. O'Keefe trying to work quickly here. Maybe trying to accelerate the pace of the cadence of his pitches and maybe try and get a quick inning defensively here for Humber and get his team back on the offense.
Exactly, yeah.
The 2-1 pitch is inside, ball 3, 3-1 to Real. Saints lead at 4-0. We are in the bottom of the 4th inning. Saints are the home team. Saints are in the white jerseys. Humber in the dark blue jerseys. Pitch is fouled away. 3-2. Now, we don't have a formal pitch count on O'Keefe as well, but we do know that he has thrown a lot of pitches through the first 3 innings of this ball game, including an 11-pitch at bat in the 1st inning to Enoch Watts.
Yeah, I think maybe an accurate would be, mid to high 60s, maybe in the 70s.
There's a foul. 3-2 remains the count. One away.
What do you think? High 60s, maybe?
Yeah, he might be close to 80 pitches at this point. There's been some long at bats. I don't have an official count on it, of course, so just marking things down here. But there have been some long at bats. That ball is lifted to left field. That might be in there, but the third baseman makes a tremendous circus catch to haul that in, and that is Justin Rispanti as he was going back and backpedaling and almost got over his head. Great defensive catch there by the third baseman for Humber, and that's the second out of the inning.
Yeah, that was a fantastic. That looked like a circus play right there.
That ball there was no chance for Dennis DeBanning, who's deep in left field. There was no way he was going to get to that ball. The only play on it was Rispanti, and he came up big there for the Hawks. So 2 away, nobody on.
Ooh, another one.
There's another foul ball that goes off the head of Tyrus Bath, and we saw that happen earlier in the ball game where he took one. And I'm telling you, Jay, it is so cold out right now. When it's 20 degrees Celsius out, that feels a little bit different compared to when it's only 4 degrees out.
Yeah, it it jars the noggin a little more viciously when it's so cold out.
Enoch Watts has had a couple big at-bats in this ball game. Went down, grounded out on 11 pitches back of the first inning. And then in the fourth inning, he walked and later scored. But saw a lot of pitches in that at-bat as well. I believe it was an 8-pitch at-bat. So he just fouled off that one right now, and we're going to see everybody just take a little bit of a break as Tyrus Bath, the Humber catcher, looks like he's good to go again. He's taken a couple of hard foul balls in this game, and I believe both of them coming off the bat of Watts, if I'm not mistaken.
As long as he's seeing one Shane O'Keefe, it's okay.
Here's the pitch, and it just misses for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike to Enoch Watts. O'Keefe trying to get a 3-up, 3-down inning here for the Hawks. That pitch is in there for a strike. It's 1-2. And a bit of a sarcastic cheer there from some of the Humber fans. So they've seen a lot of close pitches in this game, although to be fair, it usually goes both ways.
Yeah. Just unfortunate, you see it in the moment, you got to single it out. Oh, my God.
That ball bounces up and hits Tyrus Bath as he went to block it. Of course, nobody on base, but, man, he is getting a workout there behind the plate as the Humber catcher. This is a tough night, and it's always tough for the catchers the best of times, but Bath has really taken so many hits here in this game tonight behind the plate. 2-2 is the count to Enoch Watts. Pitch is high. 3-2. Saints lead at 4-0. We are in the bottom of the 4th inning. Winner of this game goes to the gold medal round. Loser will play tomorrow at 10 o'clock against the Seneca Sting. That ball is hit to second base, and it gets past Robert Champion. Robert Champion playing second base now in place of Aidan Murphy, who was at second base but came over to first base when Cam Wilcox was injured on a foul ball while he was batting in the last inning. So Champion not able to come up with that one, and it is a 2-out base runner for St. Clair.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna go down as an error or anything. That ball was hit on a frozen rope. That ball was hit so hard.
There you go, Briggs. Kids, stay hot.
So Champion is at second base, and Aidan Murphy has moved over to first base. The batter now is Riley Briggs, the designated hitter. He has reached on an error. He has walked. He has scored 2 of the 4 runs in this game for St. Clair. Count is 1-0. Pitch is taken high or outside. We're not 100% sure, but it is a 2-0 count now. Briggs. 2-0 is the count to Riley Briggs. Runner at first, 2 out here for St. Clair, bottom of the 4th. O'Keefe's pitch is in there for a strike. 2-1 is the count to Riley Briggs. 4-0 lead. And Tench's again running very high here at Kinsmen Stadium.
You can hear I don't know if they can hear it, but the Humber fans are.
Runner goes with the pitch. They will throw it down. Bath throws it high, and it's a stolen base for Enoch Watts. Second stolen base of the game, and he moves into scoring position at a 3-1 count now to Riley Briggs.
And here's another reason why you kind of got to keep your mental cool here. I don't think Shane O'Keefe was keeping too much of an eye on Watts there. He was just trying to find the strike zone and potentially getting a little irritated that some calls are not going his way.
Here's the 3-1 pitch, and that is high. And it is a walk to Briggs. He'll go down to first base. Runners at first and second now with 2 away. And O'Keefe has walked 2, 5, I believe that's his 6th walk of the game. So 6 walks given up by O'Keefe here on a cold night, and trying to keep this a 4-0 game here in the 4th inning. Strike is the first pitch to Spencer Moran, the center fielder for the St. Clair Saints. He's been hit by a pitch and scored. He has walked. Looking to add on here in the 4th inning for St. Clair. The 0-1 pitch is low. There is action in the Humber bullpen. The Hawks hoping that O'Keefe can get through this inning. We talked about his pitch count a while back. That's when we thought it might be around 70-ish. He's probably now getting into the 90 range.
90s, yeah. I like your estimate of the 80s better, because I'm kind of thinking Watts on his own, I'm pretty sure took 25.
Yes.
Pitches, maybe 30.
They've been eating up the pitch count here. O'Keefe pitches that one, and it's outside as he's struggling to find the zone now. And the St. Clair Saints smelling blood, it feels like, in this game right now. Humber trying to hold on here. They're 2 away. They just need that 3rd out to get out of the inning and keep it a 4-0 ball game.
Yeah. Shane O'Keefe keeps missing wide and outside.
And he misses low there for another walk, and that is 7th walk of the game given up by O'Keefe as Moran goes down to first base with the walk. And the bases are loaded now.
Humber's going to the pen.
And here comes the Humber coach, and he is going to talk to his pitcher to see if it looks like it looks like he is going to come out. Well, they're still talking. Yes, he is. He's gone. So Shane O'Keefe is out of the ball game, and he will walk off the field frustrated tonight with going off with a 4-0 deficit, and leaves with the bases loaded here in the 4th inning, and his team down 4-0. He gets a round of applause from the Humber faithful, and congratulations on the bench from his Hawks teammates. And there is still work to do defensively for Humber here in the 4th inning. The bases loaded and 2 out. So we do see a pitching change, and it's going to be Eric Alcaraz, first-year pitcher, will come on in relief of Shane O'Keefe. He comes on with the bases loaded, and 2 out here in the 4th inning, and St. Clair leading it 4-0. Eric Alcaraz is a record. He started 1 game this year for Humber, made 3 appearances overall, has a 1-loss record of 1-0, tossed 7 1/3 innings to an ERA of 4.77, and struck out 5 and walked 5 during the regular season. But the Humber Hawks having to go deep into their bullpen here, and of course they used 5 pitchers last night against George Brown and a couple pitchers earlier today against the Seneca Sting. So and now Shane O'Keefe is out of the ball game. So the Saints have had to tap into their bullpen here, and for Humber trying to keep a game 4-0, they also are hoping to play 2, maybe 3. If they lose this game, they're still hoping to potentially play 3 games tomorrow to try and have to win the if they're going to win the championship, they would have to win 3 games tomorrow.
Yeah, they would. I don't know how they're going to do it. Their pitching is nearly tapped at this point. Some position guys are going to have to give the bump a go.
So Alcaraz is getting his warm-ups in here in the 4th inning. Humber is the visiting team. They are in the dark jerseys. Saints in the white jerseys. This is the home team. They're up 4-0. 2 runs for St. Clair in the 2nd, 2 runs in the 3rd, and they are looking to score here again in the 4th. Eric Alcaraz is ready, and the batter will be Patrick Kibble. for the Saints. The left fielder for the Saints will look at ball one high. Kibble in the game is 0 for 2. He has struck out. He has reached on an error. Ball gets away there from the catcher to the pitcher, and they get it in time to make sure that none of the base runners move. Definitely the Saints in the driver's seat right now here, Jake.
Yeah, absolutely. It's their game right now. Although it's 2 outs right now that we see, I don't think they're even looking at that. They're just looking at the score runs.
Alcaraz steps off, and now he's going to want to talk things over with Tyrus Bath to make sure that they know exactly what they're doing here, trying to keep the game within reach, if at all possible. 4-0 is the score in favor of St. Clair. And it would be a lift for the Hawks if they can get out of this jam here. Bases loaded, 2 out, and keep it a 4-run game. They still have 3 innings offensively to try and get back in it. So this is a big moment. Alcaraz is ready, throws the pitch. It's in there for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike to Patrick Kibble. St. Clair with the bases loaded with 2 out. Alcaraz is ready. That pitch is high. 2-1. Enoch Watts is the runner at third. Riley Briggs is at second. Spencer Moran is the runner at first. Patrick Kibble with a 2-1 count here against Eric Alcaraz, just coming into the ball game. That pitch is high, ball 3.
Nowhere to put him.
No, he doesn't. And we are going to see the ball change right now as the pitcher requests a new rock, and Bath throws it back out to Alcaraz. The count is 3-1 here. Kibble, if he's able to reach with a walk or a hit, he's trying to get home the 5th run here of the game for St. Clair. They already lead 4-0. 3-run pitch is inside and high for ball 4, and that walks in a run to make it 5-0 St. Clair. So credit Kibble with an RBI walk. 5-0. Alcaraz will now face Appleyard, the number 9 hitter, who has doubled and reached on an error. Hunter Appleyard, the right fielder for the Saints, will look at a ball. It goes wide, and they're going to move the runners up. Here comes the 6th run of the game for the Saints on a wild pitch as Riley Briggs comes in to score to make it 6-0 St. Clair.
I guess this is one of the potential liabilities of someone who kind of comes from, the half arm slot coming from the side, is that they're more often, although there is a chance that they are more effective, they can definitely be more wild, and that's proven here.
So it's now 6-0 for the Saints. Pitch is high. And the count is 3-0 to Appleyard. Runners at second and third. Still 2 out. Alcaraz was trying to limit to keep it a 4-run game, but he has given up a walk and a wild pitch to bring home 2 runs here for the Saints. And you can feel that the Sharks are beginning to circle here in this game right now for the Saints. They've scored 2 in the second, 2 in the third, 2 in the fourth. Looking for more. The 3-0 pitch from Alcaraz is taken for a strike, 3-1. If Appleyard reaches, it'll be the leadoff hitter, Carter Ray. Moran at third, Kibble at second. Here's the 3-1 pitch, and it misses for ball 4. And the Humber pitcher wasn't sure where that missed. I guess it was away and outside. It's another walk. 2 walks given up now by Alcaraz, and the bases are loaded again. And that brings up Carter Ray, 0 for 3 in the ball game, but a chance to really blow it open here.
Yeah, it really can.
The first pitch to Ray is in there for a strike. Ray is the 8th batter of the inning here for the Saints. 2 runs are in. And a 6-0 lead for St. Clair. That pitch is also in there for a strike. Strike 2.
Hey, that's no problem, Ray. Let's go. Hey, you got this. Come on, kid. You got this.
Saints looking for more in a 6-0 lead. Alcaraz is ready. Here's the 0-2 pitch. It is popped foul to the right side. Ray stays alive. St. Clair 6, Humber no score. Bottom of the 4th. Here's the 0-2 again. Swing and a miss, strike 3. The inning is over. And Alcaraz gets a big strikeout, leaves the bases loaded as the Saints have left stranded 10 base runners actually through 4 innings, if you can believe it. We've seen a lot of stranded base runners throughout the games today. But they do get 2 runs there in the 4th inning. With 4 complete now here at Kinsmen Stadium, it is St. Clair leading by a score of 6-0. In that 4th inning for St. Clair, 2 runs scored on 1 hit. There were 4 walks by Humber pitching in that inning, accounting for 2 more runs for St. Clair. They lead at 6-0. And Brock Whitson will stay in the ballgame as the St. Clair pitcher. He has, to this point, thrown a shutout. He has only given up 1 hit in the ball game. That was to Stephen Navrebecki back in the 3rd inning. He has walked 3 batters, and he has 1 strikeout. But he has had some big defense, particularly early on in this game when it was still really close, Jake. The Humber Hawks were really scorching the ball off of him in the early going and hit 5 super deep fly balls that the outfielders had to make great catches on. And it looked like Humber's bats were locked and loaded, but they have not been able to score through the first 4 innings.
Yeah, the Humber bats have significantly fell silent after, well, really, the first 2 innings of really promising baseball. They scorched the ball. Almost every single player that came up had multiple pitches where they squared it up. They hit it hard. Unfortunately, they're hitting it right to guys. But up until this point, going probably for the 3rd inning onwards, it's been all quiet, and it has truly been all St. Clair.
So Whitson will face the designated hitter, Jacob Turner. He was actually up in the last inning and had a full count, but his at bat will continue here actually in the 5th inning as he looks at a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike here to Turner. He was at the plate when Aidan Murphy was caught stealing, trying to get to third base when the score was 4-0, and Murphy was thrown out at third base to end the inning. So Turner comes up again here in the 5th inning. That bat is broken. It hits to first base. Robinson is able to catch that as it bounces nicely for him, and he takes a couple steps to his left to record the first out of the inning, and that bat just shattered in front of us.
It really did, right off on the handle.
So when the bats are cold, they really are cold. The Hawks with only one hit so far in this ball game. And that time, the bat just snapped on Turner. So one away here, nobody on the base paths. And the batter is the shortstop, David Boato. And Boato is 0 for 1 in the ball game. He popped a short in the second inning. 1-0 pitch. He checks his swing, but it's in there for a strike. Brock Whitson is ready. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Check swing, it misses. Ball 2. 2-1 to the shortstop for the Hawks, David Boato. Whitson is ready. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Brock Whitson from Chatham will throw the 2-2 pitch. It is off the plate. Henry Real is unable to squeeze it. Doesn't matter, though, as it goes to the backstop. Count is full now to Boato. Nobody on the base pass. 1 away. Here's the payoff. It's on the ground and foul to the right side. We will do it again.
Man, for a second, I thought that bat was broken as well.
Very cold night. There is no wind, thankfully, here at Kinsmen Stadium as the wind has died down, but it is chilly. The 3-2 pitch is high, ball 4. It's a 1-out walk for the Hawks and a much-needed base runner. That is the 4th walk of the game given up by Whitson. Only 1 hit, though, in the ball game by Stephen Naberbecki for Humber so far. And the batter will be the catcher, Tyrus Bath. He comes up here in the 5th inning with a runner at first and 1 out. He walked in his only plate appearance of the ball game back in the 3rd inning. Whitson is ready, and his first pitch misses just off the plate for ball 1. Tyrus Bath, the Humber catcher, will look at a pitch high, ball 2. And he's had a busy time of things behind the plate for the Hawks. He's taken a couple of nasty foul balls off his cage and off of his helmet, and very tough night back there behind the plate.
Tyrus Bath is my player of the game. That guy has had to do so much for the Hawks. If it wasn't for him, I'm pretty sure it'd probably be an 8 or 9-0 deficit.
That ball from Whitson gets away past the catcher for the Saints and goes as a wild pitch as Boato goes over to second on that. On a wild pitch, he moves into scoring position. Humber Hawks looking just for some signs of life here as they try and get on the board here in the 5th inning. Climb their way back into the ball game. Count is 3-0 to Tyrus Bath. 1 away here in the top of the 5th inning. Winner goes to the gold medal matchup tomorrow afternoon here in the OCAA Championships. That pitch is low. Ball 4, and another walk issued by Whitson, and that's going to bring a mound visit here for the Saints. And fifth walk of the game. And they're going to talk things over here. Don't think they're going to take Whitson out at this point with a 6-run lead, but The Saints know full well the firepower that is within the Humber lineup, and it's been quiet so far, but you just never know when Humber is going to put some kind of huge rally together.
Yeah, you really kind of, at any point you can awaken the beast just by any reason whatsoever. I think it's in St. Clair's best interest. Let Whitson kind of go the distance. Burn him. See as far as he can go, and then keep going. It's, you have one less pitcher, but you still got a lot going for tomorrow.
Now he has walked 2 in this inning. He got a ground out on the first batter of the inning. That was Turner, who grounded out to first base quietly to start the inning, but since then he's given up a couple of walks, and the Humber Hawks now have runners at first and second with 1 out. And the batter will be Hudson Lockwood, the right fielder. Lockwood, the number 9 hitter, wears jersey number 9 as well for the Hawks, and he looks at ball 1. Lockwood looking to get on base here if he can. Well, there is only 1 out, but the top of the order awaits with now Rebecki, DeBanning, and Raspanti awaiting, hoping for a chance here in the 5th inning. Pitch is taken at the knees for a strike. 1-1. Humber Hawks trailing at 6-0, top of the 5th inning, 1 away, first and second. Here's the 1-1. That is hit up the middle. That is a base hit. That looks to score a run, as coming around from second to score is David Boauto, and it is a 6-1 ball game. Here come the Hawks. So that's the second hit of the ball game, only for Humber, but it comes at an opportune time as Lockwood singles home the first run of the game, and it also moves Tyrus Bath over to second base. So those walks end up coming back to haunt the Saints, and that is going to be the end of the line for Brock Whitson. With Stephen Rebecki on deck for Humber in a 6-1 ball game, Whitson will surrender the ball and come off here in the top of the 5th inning, and we will see a relief pitcher. And it will be Sam McKinley from Tilbury. Will take over, a first-year player for the Saints. Jersey number 21. Getting his warm-ups here in. Don't know if it's a momentum swing yet, but the wheels are starting to turn here a bit, Jake, for the Humber Hawks.
Yeah, the gears are moving. Wheels are turning. Let's just see how much they can get here. Maybe put the, I guess they're going to try and shock St. Clair a little bit here. They've been really quiet, and they've been completely quiet. It's not been really quiet. They've been totally quiet this entire game. Finally striking on the board.
McKinley only made 1 appearance during the regular season for the Saints. And in that appearance, through an inning and 2/3, and if I'm reading this correctly, gave up 9 hits and 9 runs, all of them earned, and a couple of walks. So if those numbers are correct, McKinley's only appearance of the season was not an ideal one for the Saints. He comes up here with his team up 6-1 in the top of the 5th inning. The Humber Bats have been quiet up until now, but a couple of walks and a single here by Lockwood has put Humber on the board, and it'll be the top of the order coming up here in Stephen Rebecki, the OCAA's top hitter of 2021, who batted .478. In this game, Rebecki is 1 for 2. He has one of the 2 hits in the game so far for Humber. He singled back in the 3rd inning. He flied out to left in the 1st. So the Hawks have a chance to maybe claw their way back into it here in the top of the 5th inning. It is never over against the Humber Hawks, and the rest of the league knows that full well. So let's set the situation for you here. One away, first and second for Humber with one out, top of the fifth inning. 6-1 is the score in favor of St. Clair. Tyrus Bath is at second, and Hudson Lockwood is at first. Now Rebecca is the batter, and McKinley is ready to go. First pitch misses, ball one.
Wow.
Count is 1-0 to now Rebecca. Two Hawks on the base paths here. Here's the 1-0. McKinley's pitch misses, ball two, 2-0. And you can start to hear the Humber bench, which has been very quiet for most of the game, particularly after Cam Wilcox was injured and had to leave the game after a foul ball. But signs of life here for the Hawks in the fifth inning. Now Rebecca will look at a ball low, 3-0 now. To the Hawks veteran. Dennis DeBanning, the OCAA's Player of the Year, waits on deck. 3-0 with runners at first and second. Now Rebecca will look at a strike, taking all the way. 3-1. You know now Rebecca wants to unload here if he can, but he also knows his team is still down 5 runs.
Absolutely, yeah.
Here's the 3-1 from Sam McKinley, and it is hit on the ground to third base. Third baseman cannot come up with it, and everybody is safe.
Uh-oh.
Enoch Watts, ball, he had so much time to, and maybe too much time to think about it. He was not able to come up with it. Thought about maybe going to second. Maybe he could have run for a force out at third. He could have thrown to first, but he's not able to come up with it. On a cold night, the baseball is cold, the ground is a little bit wet, and it's a big break on an error, and the bases are loaded for the Humber Hawks here in the top of the fifth inning, and here comes Dennis DeBanning. So here the Hawks have a chance to get right into this, back into this game here, Jake.
Yeah, you know what? This is, for Humber, this is the guy you want. For St. Clair, this is the guy you don't want. Very simple.
McKinley will deal to DeBanning here with the bases loaded and one away. Big swing and a miss, strike one. Big cut. DeBanning is 0 for 2 in the ball game. He is flied out to right. He is grounded out to third. 6-1 is the score, but the bases are loaded here for the Hawks in the top of the fifth. McKinley is ready. Here's the 0-1, and it's outside. And Henry Real had to reach to his right to make sure that didn't get by him, because anything past him is going to score a run from third base. As Tyrus Bath is waiting there, ready to come home on anything that gets by.
Hey, you see him stretch. Go gadget extendo arms on that one.
1 ball and 1 strike to DeBanning. Pitch is taken for a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And DeBanning took a pitch there that he might have been able to handle.
Yeah, I wasn't really too sure what was why the trigger was not pulled there.
Sam McKinley looking to do a big job here in relief for the St. Clair Saints in the top of the fifth inning. Here's the 1-2. Time is called. Ball is in the dirt. And time was called just before that pitch. And Josh Anderson, the shortstop, apparently called time, and it was granted time just before that pitch. Don't often see time called by by an infielder like that in that situation.
Yeah,
But no pitch on that last one. That ball was in the dirt, but it is no pitch, so the count remains 1-2. So an interesting turn of events right there. Bases still loaded for Humber. 1 away. Count is 1-2.
I'm unsure as to what that quick discussion was about, but nonetheless, here we are.
Here's the 1-2 to DeBanning. Takes it just at the knees and just inside for a ball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Man, Jake, that was close. We've seen so many close pitches here tonight. The Saints wanted that one. The Humber Hawks breathe a sigh of relief that that was not strike three. They want DeBanning to come through here in a big situation.
I don't know anymore. I don't know. I don't know. Let's get home.
McKinley, 2-2 to DeBanning here. And that pitch is outside, ball 3. Full count. 6-1 is the score. It was 6-0. The Hawks have 1 run here already in the 5th. Dennis DeBanning, the OCAA Player of the Year, with a full count now against Sam McKinley, the Saints pitcher. Nowhere to put DeBanning, and now DeBanning calls time.
This is probably the biggest pitch of the ball game right now coming up.
Bases loaded for Humber here with 1 out. DeBanning looking to bring home 1 or more. Here is the 3-2 pitch. DeBanning swings and misses for strike 3. Huge out for the Saints. 2 out. DeBanning dejectedly walks back to the dugout. And that's a huge strikeout for McKinley as he's trying to walk the high wire here and turn away the Humber Hawks.
Still trying to figure out if he needed 4 strikes or just a regular 3 there.
The batter will be Justin Raspanti, so still a chance here for Humber to get something going. Raspanti in the game is 0 for 1. He is flied out to right. He is walked. Bases loaded, 2 out. Raspanti looks at ball 1. Humber with the bases loaded and desperately needing to score more runs here in the top of the 5th inning. It is a 6-1 lead for the Saints. Bath at third, Lockwood at second, now Rebecki at first. Count is 1-0 to Justin Raspanti. Pitch is very high. Taken for ball 2, 2-0. Real came to his feet to catch that one.
That was almost some sweet chin music right there.
Real trying to make sure that nothing gets past him. Humber with base runners here. The Saints don't want to give up anything else. They have a 6-1 lead. Here's a 2-0 pitch to Justin Raspanti. And that misses for ball 3. 3-0. So the Hawks here with an opportunity knocking again, trailing 6-1. Even 1 run here would be a big one for Humber. Three and 0. Will Raspanti take, or will he swing away at 3-0? He will take at 3-0, and it is a strike. 3-1. Of course, you're down 5. Maybe you're not necessarily swinging away at 3-0 like you might in another part of a situation in the game.
Yeah, no, I would keep the bat on my shoulders until 3-2.
Here's the 3-1 pitch. It is high. Ball 4. And just as you said, Jake, the count never got to 3-2 because it is a walk, and he goes down to first base. And the second run is in here for Humber. It is now 6-2.
I think this infielder coming in to talk with him is just another opportunity just to buy St. Clair some time. Because you can hear down our right-hand side or right-hand side of the field, we can't see from your point of view, but there are some people in the bullpen. We can't tell you exactly who.
So the bases remain loaded for Robert Champion, who represents the tying run in this ball game. 6-2. As Champion takes strike 1 from McKinley. Robert Champion is in this game batting for Cam Wilcox, who was injured back in the 4th inning. on a foul ball. Had to leave the game. Champion took over that at bat. He looks at ball one. Now, Robert Champion has seen action in the game here, so he is definitely one of the experienced players for the Humber Hawks here. His team now trails 6-2 in the top of the 5th inning. Sam McKinley is ready. Here's the 1-1 pitch. It misses. 2-1. And the screws are tightening just a little bit here for both teams in a dramatic moment here in the 5th inning. Humber looking to climb right back into this ball game here. It was 6-0. It's now 6-2. 2-1 count to Champion. McKinley's pitch is checked, and it is, I think, a foul ball.
Yeah.
Looks like a foul ball. So, yeah, he put his hands up there. The umpire did. So the count is 2-2. So now 2 balls and 2 strikes to Robert Champion. Bases loaded for Humber here in the top of the 5th inning. Saints leading at 6-2. 2-2 pitch coming to Champion. And it is high.
Oh, boy.
Ball 3.
Oh, boy.
The bases loaded, full count. And you know what that means with the full count. The base runners will be moving with the pitch. Robert Champion with a 3-2 count. Sam McKinley looking to douse the Flames here. Here comes the 3-2. Time is called as he lets it go. Don't know where time was called or who called it. The runners were going, and St. Clair is wondering where time was called. But time was called just before that pitch was thrown.
And
so
it was a strike. It was right down the middle.
It was right down the middle.
Oh, boy.
So McKinley will have to do that again.
Repeat.
Just throw another strike. It's so easy.
It's exactly. It's only 60 feet, 6 inches away.
Here comes the full count pitch again. Champion is ready. It is taken. Strike 3 called. The inning is over. And credit to Sam McKinley. Got the job done there as he threw the same pitch that he did just before that one when time was called. And the Hawks are only able to come up with 2 runs. So we've played 4.5 innings here at Kinsmen Stadium. It is a 6-2 lead for the St. Clair Saints over the Humber Hawks in this battle of undefeated teams in the 2021 OCAA Men's Baseball Championship. The winner of this game will go on to face, or will wait the winner of the bronze medal game tomorrow morning. The loser of this game will have to play in the bronze medal game against the Seneca Sting at 10 o'clock here on the live stream. So in that 5th inning for the Humber Hawks, 2 runs on 1 hit. There were 3 walks. There was an error. And the Hawks leave 3 runners on base. But they have taken a bite out of a 6-run lead, and they now only trail by 4 as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning here at Kinsmen Stadium in a cold, cold night. Temperature right now listed at 4 degrees. Very light winds now. The wind really not much of a difference right now, but it is humid and it does feel a lot colder than 4 degrees, particularly for the fans, all of them bundled up here in the grandstand with blankets, hoodies, mittens, toques, everything you need for fall baseball to stay warm. The action is certainly hot as the Humber Hawks come on to play defense here in the bottom of the 5th inning. And Eric Alcaraz, who came on for Shane O'Keefe, the Humber starter, will stay in the ball game here for Humber, as the Hawks will try and keep St. Clair off the board and try and regroup again on the offensive side in the 6th inning. 6-2. You know, it feels like we've been here probably for about 48 hours. Jake,
Probably not.
Maybe it's more than 48 hours. The first game today started back at 11 o'clock, and we are almost now at 11 p.m., about 5 minutes away, so we're certainly going to go over 12 hours. Maybe it's not 48 hours, but it's 12.
Reminds me of Robin Williams' favorite. I think it's from Jumanji. It might be wrong. What year is it?
Josh Anderson is the leadoff batter here for the St. Clair Saints to lead things off in the bottom of the 5th inning. Oof. Eric Alcaraz has a 2-0 count now to Anderson. In the game so far, Anderson is 0 for 1. He reached on a fielder's choice. He has walked twice, and there he takes a strike, 2-1. St. Clair with 2 runs in the 2nd, 2 in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th. Humber answered just moments ago with 2 in the top of the 5th for a 6-2 score in favor of the Saints. Anderson looks at ball 3. 3-1 to the St. Clair shortstop. Looking to get on base for the 3rd time in this ball game. He has a couple of walks. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Swings, cuts on it, fouls it away, 3-2. Eric Alcaraz came on in the St. Clair 4th inning with the score 4-0 at the time, and that pitch is low. No chance to get the zone there. Ball 4 as Anderson has his 3rd walk of the ball game. And the leadoff runner is on for the Saints here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Alcaraz came on with a 4-run deficit, gave up a couple of walks, and then struck out Carter Ray with the bases loaded last inning, and it was 6-0 at that point. Humber with 2 in the top of this inning to make it 6-2. The batter is Colin Robinson. He looks at ball 1. The 1-0 pitch is taken for ball 2. 2-0. And Humber really needing to put a 0 up on the board here, trailing by 4 runs in the 5th inning. That pitch is at the knees for strike 1. 2-1.
I think Robinson clearly upset with himself there. I think that's a pitch that he could have definitely got extended on and sent it a long way.
We know he has a ton of power. The 2-1 pitch doesn't pull the trigger there. He looks at strike 2, 2-2. Josh Anderson is the base runner at first for St. Clair. Robinson will take strike. No, it's not. It hits him on the arm. Hits him on the arm, so it's a hit by pitch, and he will trot down to first base. Anderson moves up to second, and the Saints now have runners at first and second with nobody out. If it hit him, it didn't hit him very hard. It just grazed his arm.
Yeah, usually we can hear things pretty well despite having fancy headphones on, but I didn't hear a thing there.
Give Robinson one thing, though. He did a good job selling it.
Yeah, he did.
Count is 1-0 now to Henry Real. He is the St. Clair catcher. He looks at a strike. Count is 1-1. He is 0 for 3 in the ball game. He is flied out to left. He is struck out. He is popped out to third. 1-1 pitch bounces in there. Runners are going to go. Anderson, with lightning speed, goes from second to third as the ball bounced away from the catcher. And now the Saints have runners at first and third with nobody out.
I think something got a little. I think there was a wrench put in that delivery right there because that one didn't even make it like 55 feet. That one bounced quite early.
Israel takes a big hack at that pitch, moves the count to 2-2. But Josh Anderson, who was at second base, had a great secondary lead. And when that ball was on the ground, he took off instantly and like lightning moved down to third base. So here's the 2-2 pitch, taken, and it is a ball outside, 3-2. Real's body language told me that he may have thought that was strike 3.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing because he started to move.
That ball is popped up to the right side and goes out of play. Hits the top of the dugout on the first base side. So the count remains 3-2. Henry Real at the plate with runners at first and third, nobody out, and the Saints, his team, up 6-2 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Runner goes from first down to second. They will throw down, and not in time, although it doesn't matter because it was ball 4, so it's a walk. No stolen base. Real goes down to first with a walk. Bases are loaded, nobody out. And the batter will be Enoch Watts. And in this game, Watts has grounded out, he has walked, he has singled, he has scored a couple of runs, and he has seen an infinite number of pitches.
I think he's seen more than his jersey number, I think, at this point.
That's right, he wears jersey number 37, and you're quite right, Jake. He could be up to near close to 37 pitches. He saw 11 back in the first inning, unofficially. He had 7 pitches in the third, and he did face a full count in the 5th. So there's another 6. So 11, 7, and 6. Can we count that high? 24.
20, yeah, that number.
I think so.
Right. 24. Hold on. Gotta figure out how to get there first.
So he has seen a lot of pitches, and he looks at the first pitch from Eric Alcaraz. It is ball 1.
No, needless to say that he is a fantastic hitter in the box right now.
And he has seen a lot of those extra pitches because he's able to foul off 2 strike pitches. Ooh. That ball is hit to center field, and it will be caught in center field. That'll be a sacrifice fly. No chance at all to get Josh Anderson as he screams from third base to the home plate. And they appeal at third to say he left early, but the umpire...
That's not even how you appeal it either.
Yeah, that's true. They just immediately threw the ball over to third base. I don't even think the ball was dead.
No, because aren't you supposed to step off and then go to the bag?
I think so. So it's a sacrifice fly by Watts, and that makes it a 7-2 game. First out of the inning. Other runners have to hold, but Anderson scores on the sac fly. 7-2, St. Clair. First pitch to Riley Briggs is a strike. Briggs in this game as he swings and misses at strike 2, but that gets away from the catcher and will allow the runners to move up to second and third on the wild pitch. And that certainly takes away the double play opportunity. Count is 0-2 to Riley Briggs. St. Clair with runners at second and third and 1 out. Briggs in this game reached on an arrow. He has walked twice. He scored 3 runs. As he looks at a ball, 1-2. St. Clair 7, Humber 2. Still in the bottom of the 5th inning here. A swing and a miss, strike 3 as Alcaraz gets the strikeout. I believe that's his second of the game, and that's the second out of the inning. Runner still at second and third now with 2 out, and it'll be Spencer Moran, who in the ball game has been hit by a pitch and scored. He has walked twice. Looks at strike one from Alcaraz.
Hey, do a job here.
Saints with runners at second and third, 2 out. Humber back in the top of this inning, left the bases loaded. There's a swing and a miss, strike two. They had the tying run to the plate. But Robert Champion struck out looking to end the inning. 0-2 is the count to Moran, and he fouls that away. Stay alive. Base runner at third is Colin Robinson. Henry Real is the runner at second. Saints have runs in every inning of this game so far except for the first. Alcaraz's pitch taken, and boy, that was close.
Oh, man.
But is called a ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. It just had the feel that that was going to be called strike 3.
I thought it was. Apparently not.
Count is 1-2 to Moran. He takes strike 3. The inning is over. So 2 strikeouts and only 1 run comes in. Could have been a lot more for St. Clair. 5 complete here at Kinsmen Stadium in Oshawa in this battle of undefeated teams. The St. Clair Saints lead it after 5 innings by a score of 7-2. Oh, yeah. So in that 5th inning for St. Clair, 1 run. There were 2 walks. There were 2 wild pitches and a sacrifice fly by Enoch Watts that brought home Josh Anderson with the 7th run of the game for St. Clair. And we go to the 6th inning now. The Humber Hawks find themselves down 5 runs, 7-2. Leadoff hitter will be Aiden Murphy, followed by Jacob Turner and David Boiteau. Sam McKinley will stay in the game on the mound for St. Clair. Came on in a jam situation back in the 5th inning in relief of Brock Whitson, the starting pitcher for St. Clair, and managed to strike out Robert Champion with the bases loaded. And at the time, that was a big moment in the ball game, as the Hawks looked to have the St. Clair Saints where they wanted them and looking to really break back into the game. They did get 2 runs in that inning, but they left some stuff on the table there.
Yeah, it's I'm not even sure really what to place the blame on, but the Humber tires have just been completely deflated the entire game. Even like when the bases were loaded and things like that, you still didn't feel a whole lot of energy coming from the Humber dugout. It was just hey, just another at bat, nothing special about it. Instead of looking at, hey, this is a good chance to get some runs in, chip away this lead, so we can, make it special in the 6th and the 7th. But again, here we are, 7-2.
We go to the top of the 6th inning here. It'll be the 5, 6, and 7 hitters for Humber. Back in the early part of this ball game, the Hawks' first 5 batters hit loud fly balls to deep in the outfield. All of them were caught by the St. Clair defense, and perhaps that deflated the Hawks a little bit at that point. It took them a while to get a hit. It was not until the 3rd inning when they got their first hit from Stephen Narebecki. And at this point, still unofficially have only 2 hits in the ball game. The first pitch to Aiden Murphy is taken for a ball, 1-0. 7-2 is the score in favor of St. Clair. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That is in there for a strike, 1-1. Sam McKinley, the right-hander for St. Clair, came on in relief of Brock Whitson back in the 5th inning. So he moves into his 2nd inning of work here for the Saints. The 1-1 pitch is inside, ball 2. Earlier today, the Saints were 5-4 winners over the Durham Lords in their first game of the tournament. For the Saints, that advanced them to this game. The Humber Hawks were 18-5 winners against Seneca in a game that feels like it was about 4 days ago. And that, boy, that hits Aiden Murphy in the hip, and boy, that's got to sting. He runs down to first base. You know that St. Clair doesn't want to put anybody on base at this point with the Humber Hawks, but boy, that you could hear that over here.
Well, with how wild Alcaraz is, I would be quite nearly terrified to be a right-handed hitter up against him. Because everything he's missing to his arm side, which is going right into a right-handed hitter's hip, just like what we just saw there.
So it's a leadoff base runner for the Hawks with Murphy hit by that pitch. He's on first, and that will bring up Jacob Turner. Turner will take a ball high for ball 1. Turner in the game is 0 for 1. He is grounded out to first, and he has walked. The Hawks looking for just their 3rd hit of the ball game right now. 7-2 is the score. That taken at the knees inside, and it's called a strike, and Turner shrugs back at the umpire, thinking that ball may have been low, but it's a 1-1 count.
I think good for the umpire at this point, because that right there, kind of showing up an umpire, that is grounds for an ejection right away.
Here's the 1-1. Hit hard to right center field. That is going to land in front of the St. Clair right fielder. Base hit, 3rd of the game. As Hunter Appleyard was giving chase to it, but it landed well in front of him. Made sure it didn't get by him to keep Murphy only to second base. So it's 2 on now with nobody out for Humber. Shortstop, David Boto is the batter. And he will take a pitch inside, ball 1. Humber had a 2-run rally back in the 5th inning to get on the board for the first time. The Hawks looking for more here in the top of the 6th inning. Runners get their lead. The pitch from McKinley misses, ball 2, 2-0. Tyrus Bath, the catcher, who has a couple walks in this game, is on deck for Humber. Boto in this game has walked and popped out. McKinley steps off, runs the runners back to their bases. Nobody out here, top of the 6th. Humber down by 5. But looking for a rally here in the late innings against St. Clair. Here's the 2-0 pitch. It's outside, way outside, 3-0. Humber 1 pitch away from loading the bases here.
I have a feeling if Boto gets on here via the walk, that I think it will be the end of the day here for this pitcher out here.
Sam McKinley is ready. Here comes the 3-0 pitch. It is in there for a strike. 3-1. Boto taking all the way. Three balls, 1 strike. Runners at first and second. Nobody out. Pitch is low and away. Ball 4. That loads the bases with nobody out, and we are at the very least going to see a mound visit here for the Saints. So St. Clair has been in control for a while here. They had a 6-0 lead at one point. Humber got it to 6-2. St. Clair put one on the board in the bottom of the fifth inning, and you're right, Jake, that is going to be the end of the line for McKinley, and we are going to see another pitcher for St. Clair. Again, the base is loaded here for Humber, and opportunity knocks again to try and get back into this ball game. They're only down 5.
It looks like
it's going to be Austin Olds coming into the game. We saw him pitch earlier
against Durham.
So this is his second appearance of the day. And he will take over on the mound, and he inherits a bit of a hornet's nest here with the Humber Hawks having the bases loaded and nobody out. His team is up by 5, and he will get his pitches in to warm up. Olds this season made 3 appearances, pitched 4 innings, had an earned run average of 1.75. And we also know that he pitched back in that Durham game earlier today. So, he's had a chance. I'm sure he's tried to stay as warm as he can here on the cold night. But this is his second appearance of the day on the mound. And how tough is it for a pitcher to make multiple appearances on the same day?
I've only made, I'm trying to think here, but 2 or 3. Last one came in my freshman year of university. It's actually not as difficult as you may think. Both appearances were about 1 or 2 inning pieces each. But really, you know the mound, like your warm up and your setup and all that. You know who you're facing. I guess it's a little bit different in a tournament play. But it's really, I think people think it's a lot more difficult than it is. But as long as you're confident in your stuff, as Austin Olds probably is, it makes it a hell of a lot easier.
Now he is looking for what might end up having to be 6 outs in this ball game. He comes on here with bases loaded and nobody out in the top of the 6th inning. Humber is the visiting team. They have loaded the bases with nobody out, and the batter is the catcher, Tyrus Bath. No, it looks like we have
Pinch
a
hitter.
32 is batting for Humber. Pardon me. Bases loaded. Count is 0-1 to the batter. And that is taken for a ball. Now maybe Tyrus Bath was taken out of the ball game because he's taken a number of foul balls off of his cage.
Yeah, because this guy was catching in the previous inning.
It is Dylan White. There's the batter for Humber. Dylan White, number 32. And he takes that pitch. It is high, and it just gets off the catcher's glove, but the base runners have to hold. So Dylan White has a 2-1 count here for the Hawks. Bases loaded, nobody out. Murphy at third, Turner at second, Boto at first. The pitch is lifted to shallow center field. The infielders come together on it, and it is taken by Carter Ray, the second baseman, for the first out of the inning. And Aiden Murphy took a big lead off of third there, thinking he might try and come home, but the ball was really shallow, and you don't want to make a base running mistake here. The Hawks, looking back in this game, did make a couple base running mistakes early on in the game.
Yeah, exactly. They've made a few of them that run them out of innings that potentially still had some life in them. They've already made 2. A third one would really be, I think, the final nail in the coffin.
So bases remain loaded now with 1 out. It'll be Hudson Lockwood, the right fielder. He is 1 for 2 in the ball game. He reached on a fielder's choice. He has singled, knocked in a run back in the 5th inning for the Hawks. He looks at ball 1, takes it low. Austin Olds is the pitcher for the Saints. He's gotten the first out. Here's the 1-0 pitch. It is hit on the ground to third base. It's a fair ball that is down the line. That is going to score 2 runs. It is a 2-run single for Lockwood. And all of a sudden, Jake, it is a 7-4 ball game.
That's, that's huge. You got top of the order with, the dangerous 5 really coming up here. Austin Olds really has got to bear down here and just focus, making quality pitches one after the other.
That ball just inside the third base side, or third base bag, bounced into left field. I'll give credit to the St. Clair defense as Patrick Kibble came in right away, got to the ball, and made sure that nobody advanced farther than second base. But it is now runners at first and second with 1 out, and it is Stephen Nawrabecki, the batter of the leading hitter in the OCAA this year, up at the plate. And he checks swings, but he goes around for strike 1. Nawrabecki represents the tying run in this ball game, as the Humber Hawks now trail at 7-4 here in the top of the 6th inning. Saints looking for the double play to get out of it. Nawrabecki looking to close the gap even farther as he takes a pitch inside for a ball, 1-1.
That was a good pitch there. Maybe just a touch inside.
In this game now, Nawrabecki has a hit. He has reached on an error. He has flied out to left field. But dangerous hitter. Here's the 1-1. Taken, and it hit him. Just brushed off of his arm. And he reacted immediately to it, and the umpire calls a hit by pitch, and the bases are loaded. Saints are not happy with that call.
All right, I don't know.
That moves the base runners up, so Lockwood moves over. Lockwood moves over to second, and Boto moves over to third. The bases are loaded. And it's Dennis DeBanning coming up, 0 for 3 in the ball game, but the bases are loaded, and he has a chance to put his team perhaps back on even terms. Here's the first pitch taken, strike 1. DeBanning looking a little hesitant at the plate right now, looking like he wants to cut on it. He struck out in his last plate appearance. He's 0 for 3 in the game.
I don't really understand it because DeBanning has faced significantly tougher pitching, as well as he is a player in the IBL, one of the top senior leagues in the country.
Here's the 0-1 pitch is fouled away. It's 0-2. Sorry, Jake.
Yeah, no problem. It really, I'm not really too sure what the problem is with DeBanning. Like, he has not, like, we've looked at the stats, 576 batting average, the top player in the league this year. I haven't seen a shred of this top player this entire 2 days so far. I don't know about you. I haven't.
Well, he certainly has a chance to turn the game around right here for the Humber Hawks here in the top of the 6th inning. 2 runs in, bases loaded, 1 out. The count is 0-2. Austin Olds delivers. It's low. It gets away from the catcher. The runners are moving, and that will bring home Boto from third base. And it is now a 7-5 ball game. The runners move up to second and third. The tying run is now at second base.
I was gonna make a comment here earlier on, but I think now it's a little more realistic to say this. I think this might be their last opportunity to tie this game or get ahead.
3 runs in here for the Hawks. A 7-2 deficit is now a 7-5 deficit. Second and third, 1 out. DeBanning with a chance to tie the game. He swings and misses. And that is strike 3. He is out on strikes for the second consecutive time. That is a huge out for Austin Olds. And that brings up Justin Raspanti. And in this ball game, he is 0 for 1, a couple of walks, and a fly out to right field. So Raspanti has a chance now for Humber to try and tie the game. 7-5 for the Saints. Humber with runners at second and third with 2 out. Austin Olds trying to shut them down here. Respanti will look at ball 1 in the dirt. The Saints led this game at 1.6-0 and 7-2 coming into this inning. But the Hawks have scored 3. Olds with the 1-0 pitch. It is on the ground. Josh Anderson at short will throw over to first, and he fires a strike to Robinson, the first baseman, to end the inning. Huge out by the shortstop as he settles everything down, and the inning is over. But 3 runs come in for the Hawks, but they do leave the tying runs on base. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning here at Kinsmen Stadium. It is St. Clair 7 and Humber 5.
Just heard one of the St. Clair Saints players. Their dugout is right beside us. This is the longest expletive game I have ever played, and I couldn't agree more.
We've seen a number of long games here today. It's been a long day of baseball at Kinsmen Stadium.
God.
This is the 4th of 4 games. Everything began more than 12 hours ago with the first game of the day. These Humber Hawks in an 18-5 victory over the Seneca Sting to advance to this game. It seems such a long time ago. That game was followed up by the Durham Lords and the St. Clair Saints. A 5-4 win for St. Clair to advance to this game. After that, we saw the third game of the day was an elimination game, and the Seneca Sting won that game 2-0 over the Durham Lords to eliminate Durham from the tournament and move Seneca into the medal round tomorrow. The Sting will play the loser of this game tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock in another elimination game. The winner of this game gets a bye through that bronze medal game and goes right to the gold medal matchup and will face the winner of the 10 o'clock game, and will have 2 chances to win because it is a double knockout tournament. So we go to the bottom of the 6th inning, and it'll be Patrick Kibble for the St. Clair Saints. The Saints now with a 7-5 lead. Strike taken from Eric Alcaraz, who stays on the mound for the Hawks. The Hawks right back in this game, though, 7-5. Looking to put a 0 up on the board if they can, as Kibble lifts that ball to right field. Might be playable down the right field line, and it lands harmlessly for a strike. So it's 0-2 now to Patrick Kibble. Kibble in the game is 0 for 2. He's reached on an error, and he has walked. Hunter Appleyard awaits on deck. Alcaraz looks in for the sign. The right-hander is ready. The 0-2 pitch is taken just above the belt. It's a ball, 1-2. This game started, I believe, at 8:30, so we're coming up on the 3-hour mark. Kibble checks his swing, but he goes around. That is strike 3. First out of the inning.
Oh, boy.
Kibble thought he checked his swing, but he sure looked like he went around. He comes over to the St. Clair bench. He is the first out of the inning. 1 away, nobody on here for St. Clair in the bottom of the 6th inning. It is a 7-5 lead for the Saints. The batter is Appleyard, and he fouls that away for strike 1. Hunter Appleyard reached on an error. He has walked, and he has doubled. Doubled it back, the first run of the game back in the 2nd inning.
Oh.
That's a ball. 1-1. Eric Alcaraz with a 1-1 count. That pitch is high. 2-1 to Hunter Appleyard. St. Clair trying to turn the lineup over here with a base runner for Carter Ray, who is the leadoff hitter. He waits on deck. 2-1 is the count. To Appleyard, that's outside. Ball 3, 3-1.
You can really tell when this guy is aiming the ball. You can see him hold it for just not even half a second, just a point a second longer.
Of course, cold air, the pitcher's pitching hand, it's hard to keep it warm.
No, it really is.
There's a swing and a miss for strike 2. Alcaraz did throw that one with authority that time.
It is. When he throws with authority, he's doing a great job.
That ball is smacked to right field and it will be caught in right field for the second out of the inning. Hudson Lockwood making that catch in right field for Humber. 2 up and 2 down. And could it be a 3 up, 3 down inning for Humber? We haven't seen it so far in the ball game. The batter is Carter Ray. He is 0 for 4 in the ball game. He has grounded to third. He has struck out twice and popped out to second. He will try to lay down the bunt and fouls it away to the left side, strike 1.
Yeah, why not?
Well, when you come up and you're 0 for 4, you're thinking, okay, any way to get on for my team here.
Exactly, something.
7-5 Saints. We were in the bottom of the 6th inning. The Saints are the home team. That pitch is high for ball 1. Looking ahead to the Humber 7th inning, it'll be the 4, 5, and 6 hitters for the Humber Hawks. As that pitch is low, nowhere near the zone, the count goes 2-1 to Carter Ray. St. Clair would love some insurance here in the bottom of the 6th inning. They've seen a 6-run lead whittled down to 2. It is now 7-5. There's a pitch in for a strike, 2-2.
Great pitch there.
Three strikeouts in the game so far for Alcaraz since he came in. He's looking for his 4th, and that one will not be a strikeout. That hits the batter in the shoulder. It's a hit by pitch, and that's a 2-out base runner for St. Clair, and it'll bring up Josh Anderson, shortstop.
I think you might have jinxed the 3 up, 3 down there.
Yeah, shouldn't say things like that. It's true. It always happens. It happens on TV.
Fair enough.
So it happens on live streams too, I guess.
Yeah.
Happens on radio.
Victim.
So Carter Ray is at first base, hit by the pitch. Josh Anderson will take strike 1 from Eric Alcaraz. Anderson in this game has walked 3 times. He has scored a run. Runner goes with the pitch. It is fouled to the right side, 0-2. Anderson is officially 0 for 1, a fielder's choice back in the 3rd inning, but he does have those 3 walks. And did score the 7th run of the game on a sacrifice fly by Enoch Watts back in the St. Clair 5th inning. That pitch also hits the batter. So that's 2 hit batters in a row after 2 quick outs. Alcaraz hits Carter Ray, and then he now hits Josh Anderson
Are we ever
on a
gonna get
2-strike count. You don't want to do that. You got 2 strikes. You've done 2/3 of the hard work, and then you just softly hit the batter in the leg. Inviting trouble here, the Humber Hawks are, as the batter is the first baseman, Colin Robinson, OCAA All-Star, and a powerful bat for St. Clair, looking to extend a 2-run lead here, get some insurance for the Saints, and he looks at strike 2, 0-2. Robinson in the game has walked, hit into a fielder's choice. He has struck out, and he's been hit by a pitch. Quickly down 0-2 here to Alcaraz. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Outside. Great job by Dylan White to block that and make sure it doesn't get past him.
You can see at first glance there, Robinson almost wanted to go after it. Able to definitely hold it back.
Here's the 1-2. Swung on and missed for strike 3. And Alcaraz gets out of a big jam in the 6th inning, and the St. Clair Saints leave a couple of hit batters on the base pass with some potential insurance out there for them. They're not able to score in the 6th, and we have now ended the 6th inning. It is a 7-5 game. It's been St. Clair all the way, but the Humber Hawks do have a chance here, and they're only down by 2 coming into the 7th inning.
Yeah, they've been stirring. It's the momentum is, I don't really even know where the momentum is at this point. I think it's kind of in the abyss right now. It'll be interesting to see. Hawks have the hard lineup coming up. What was it, 4, 5, 6?
4, 5, 6. It'll be Robert Champion, Aidan Murphy, and Jacob Turner.
Yeah, so you know what? If those guys can get something going, you don't have, your big all-stars like Nabrecki or DeBanning there, but, someone else can come up, become a star here.
And just adding up the number of runners left on base in this game by St. Clair, 14. They have stranded 14 base runners in this game. And we thought we saw a lot in the game between the Durham Lords and the and the Seneca Sting, where Seneca left 13 on base and Durham left 12 on base in that game. And now that has been eclipsed here in this game by the St. Clair Saints. 14 stranded base runners, but they do lead it 7-5 going to the top of the 7th inning, and it's last chance for the Humber Hawks. Austin Olds will stay in the ballgame as the pitcher for the Saints.
Runners left on base make it a long, long day.
Number of runners stranded by Humber so far, 2, 5, 7. They've stranded 7 so far in the game, but 5 of them in the last 2 innings. It was 6-0 in this game for St. Clair after 4 innings. But it is a much closer ball game right now, 7-5 going to the 7th inning. And Humber, with only 2 runs needed to tie the game, certainly was within reach for them. One thing, too, is as we look at the clock now, it is
11:37.
11:37. My goodness, it's this is like a Red Sox-Yankees game that always seems to go well past midnight all the time.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they seem to play 5-hour games all the time. We are well over the 3-hour threshold in this game right now as we go to the 7th inning. And the one thing that we can consider fortunate is that the lights in the stadium are still on. We know that in some jurisdictions there are curfews for municipal bylaws, and the lights will sometimes go out at 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
And, boy, that it's a good thing that that's not happening here in the city of Oshawa right now as we're able to continue this game. The lights remain on as we move closer to the midnight hour. And the Humber Hawks will look to extend the inning here extend this game if they can. They are down 2 runs, top of the 7th inning. It'll be Robert Champion. He has struck out twice in the ball game. Austin Olds will fire that in there. Champion swings at it for strike 1. Humber looking for base runners. They were down 6 at one point. They're only down 2 right now here in the 7th inning. Olds with the 0-1 pitch. Low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Aidan Murphy awaits on deck. He'll be followed by Jacob Turner. St. Clair looking for a 3-up, 3-down inning here if they can get it and secure this victory. There's a high pitch, 2-1. Austin Olds just overpowering with that pitch and just flies away high.
Did a fantastic job against Durham College earlier today. Still trying to find that old self.
And that one's in there for a strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I realized I made a pun there.
I was just going to say it.
Yeah, that was completely unintentional. I need to go to bed.
2-2 is the count to Robert Champion. Olds, here's the 2-2 pitch. It is set to center field, and the center fielder will not get to it. It is a base hit. Spencer Moran looked like he might have a chance to get it, but the ball just dropped in front of him, and of course he does not want it to get by him. It is a leadoff single for Champion, and that brings the tying run to the plate here for the Humber Hawks. Certainly seeing some late drama from the Humber Hawks here. The Never Say Die Hawks. Trailing 7-5, tying run at the plate. The batter is Aiden Murphy. Champion is the base runner at first. Oh, he hits that one hard to the right side, but it's foul. Big cut. It is strike one. Murphy has flied out. He has hit into a fielder's choice, and he has been hit by a pitch and scored back in the 6th inning. 3 runs in that inning for Humber back in the 6th. It'll get very tense for St. Clair if Murphy can get on, and he looks at strike 2.
Tight curveball there from Austin Olds there. Great pitch.
St. Clair 7, Humber 5. We are in the top of the 7th inning. Hawks looking to tie it or go ahead if they can. Austin Olds is the pitcher for St. Clair. Pitch is low and away for ball 1. Real doing a good job behind the plate to block that.
Yeah, fantastic block.
Now the Saints do have a little bit of insurance here. They do have a 2-run lead. We'll keep an eye on Champion, the Humber base runner at first. Does not go. Pitch is high. Taken by Murphy. Nerves of steel there as it comes in just above the H on his the Humber jersey. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Aiden Murphy. Looking to get on base here. 2-2 is the count. Nobody out. Top of the 7th. Olds will deliver, and it's fouled away. And I'll say one thing, the Humber bench, everybody up on their feet right now. Their bench is live and kicking here.
Yeah, it's active.
They've done it so many times before. They know how to rally. They know how to hit. 2-time defending champions in the OCAA looking for a three-peat this year. Here's the 2-2. Swung on and missed. Strike 3, and that's a big out for Olds. 1 away. And Aiden Murphy did have a good cut at that. He is retired on the strikeout. And it'll bring up Jacob Turner, the designated hitter. Turner he singled and scored back in the 6th inning. He is grounded out. He is also walked. Again, represents the tying run here now, but 1 away for Humber here in the top of the 7th inning. A double play would end the ball game. Olds with the first pitch. It is in there for a strike, 0-1. Boy, this has turned into a real dramatic finish as the game was sort of sluggish there when it was 6-0. But, boy, there's a lot of intensity here at Kinsmen Stadium right now.
Yeah, there really is. It was, you said it well. Nothing was going on.
Big cut by Turner there. Swings and misses. It's 0-2 as Olds is finding another gear here on the mound, trying to close it out and put the Saints into the gold medal matchup. 0-2 is the count. Pitch is hit on the ground down the first baseline. Going to be a play at first, and tagging the runner is the pitcher, Olds, as Turner is tagged before he gets to first base. That does move the runner up to second base with 2 out. Good job keeping his composure there in a dramatic situation And a ground ball, it's never easy for the pitcher to come off the mound, sprint, get the ball, and then tag the runner.
Yeah, exactly. He's kind of got to do one step at a time. Just go. Don't overthink. Don't overwork yourself. Just go, get it, work on the next step. Thankfully, it was an easy tag. Nothing really too special going on.
So it'll be David Boto, the shortstop. Last chance here for the Hawks. Top of the 7th inning in a 7-5 game. Runner at second. And he looks at ball one. Boto has popped out to short. He has walked twice in the ballgame and scored 2 runs. Trying to get on base here. He represents the tying run for Humber here in the top of the 7th. Old's pitch bounces. Great block by Henry Al, as that ball bounced well in front of the plate, and using his body, moving to his right side to get that off the chest protector. Great block.
Yeah, he absolutely smothered that one, kept it from moving up 90 feet.
Robert Champion is the Humber base runner at second base. The count is 2-0 to David Boto. Low, ball 3, 3-0. Boto looked to offer at it, but he checked his swing plenty of time, and the count is now 3-0. If he can get on base, Dylan White, the catcher, is on deck. Here's the 3-0, and that's in there for a strike, taking all the way. Austin Olds looking to save the ball game here for the Saints. 7-5 is the score. 2 out, runner at second. Here's the 3-1. It is hit to right field. The right fielder is there to catch it, and the game is over. St. Clair's Hunter Appleyard catching that in right field to end the game, and the Saints hold on for a dramatic 7-5 victory. And they will advance now to the gold medal matchup tomorrow afternoon here at Kinsmen Stadium, and will await the winner of tomorrow morning's bronze medal game between the Humber Hawks, who just lost this game, and the Seneca Sting. Some quick thoughts before we close off.
Yeah, no, great game. Well done by Humber to kind of fight back there, but fantastic. Looking forward to tomorrow.
Okay, so for Jacob Ebbs, this is Brian Oliver. Thanks for joining us on the live stream. Again, the final score, St. Clair 7, Humber 5. We'll see you tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock for the bronze medal game between Humber and Seneca.